From Grace B. Johnson Stadium in Pembroke, North Carolina, UNCP Braves football is live. Today, it's Dom Sampson and the 1-2 Braves facing off against Alex Ogle in the 1-2 Pioneers of Tusculum College for Week 4 of the 2017 season. Welcome into the UNCP Sports Network, folks. Alongside my color commentator, Josh Reed, I'm your host, Matt Sabatis. We look forward to being with you for the rest of the evening. Josh, both of these teams have somewhat similar motivation when it comes to this game. Tusculum coming off of a bad overtime loss last week, and they need to reset their footing before they re-enter their South Athletic Conference season schedule. While the UNCP Braves, they just need to reset themselves entirely. As a non-conference team, they're on shaky waters when it comes to a postseason berth. I know it's a little ahead of schedule, but it's still something that's in their minds.
Well, yeah, UNCP especially coming off that really bad loss to their former quarterback in Pat O'Brien last week. You really want to respond in front of your home crowd today.
Speaking of last week's game against Pat O'Brien, let's go ahead and take a look at how that game shook out for UNCP. O'Brien moving quickly in the first quarter, finding and busted coverage man wide open in the end zone for a touchdown, but the Braves kept it close. This was one of the best plays, not only of UNCP football, but just across the NCAA. Josh Sheridan, look at him go. You see that? Bounced off of his defender right there. Knee never touched the ground.
Oh, yeah, I actually have a class with Josh. He was excited about that play on Monday.
I can imagine that smile must not have just gone away. But the Braves kept it a little close. 10-6 here. Pat O'Brien, he'd been a bit of an interception fiend while he was with the Braves and got one to Sean Everett there. The Braves were held to a field goal, but it was 10-9. Josh, the Braves had a chance here, but then Pat O'Brien just lit it up.
They really did. It's the same problems that's been plaguing them early in this season. There's busted coverages, lapses in defenses.
41-9, the final score against the Catawba College Indians last week. Tusculum College, though, they had it a little bit closer against the Limestone Saints in Limestone's first game in the South Athletic Conference. They just joined the conference, and they put on a good fight. It was ESPN3's Game of the Week. But Tusculum really gave them a run for their money. Ivan Hodges, a vicious sack and a forced fumble. Matt Simon is the one to take it into the end zone. Tusculum struck first there in the second quarter. And Tusculum kept it going. Matt Simon was one heck of a player. Watch this. After that scoop and score, found himself open in coverage. There he goes.
Yep, he undercut the route perfectly. I mean, he had a great game. Both of their defensive scores last weekend from Matt Simon, the senior linebacker.
With Dom Sampson's interceptions last week, he's going to be a player to watch in this matchup. That Definitely is for sure. But this game wasn't over. Tusculum took the lead there after Matt Simon's interception. Yeah, they kept going, Josh, but Limestone wasn't one to back down. But my gosh, look at Matt Simon there. He just kept on trucking. Sack defensive player of the week last week with his 2 return touchdowns, and Limestone gave it one last chance. 33 seconds left to go in the game, and they bring one in for the score, sending it to overtime. Those fans are happy on their first home game in the South Athletic Conference. Isaac Gallegos, one of the most automatic kickers in the South Atlantic Conference, can't get the job done that first time around. Limestone with an opportunity on their next possession as Tusculum started the overtime period with the ball. Look at Gallegos, just a fingertip from the left side there by Limestone. Incredible.
Sometimes all it takes, you'll see those defenders clicking their fingers up in the rest. It's a block party out there sometimes.
It's all it takes sometimes. Limestone had a little bit of lifeblood in them, and this is their first play after that blocked kick. 40 yards, OT winner, Jerkoya Patton, picking up Limestone's first win in the South Athletic Conference in their first game. Josh?
Yeah, you never want to see that when you load the box. You don't want to see the running back just run up the A-gap for a touchdown, untouched, basically.
Now we turn it over to our sideline reporter, Mr. Trevor Richardson. He's sitting down with head coach Shane Richardson right now, and we're going to hear a little bit of words of wisdom from the head coach. Trevor.
Thanks, guys. We're down here field level with the head coach of the Braves, Shane Richardson. Coach, let's talk about this matchup today. Another chance to be at home. What are the biggest keys in your mind in this matchup today?
Yeah, I think our guys have to make sure that the hangover from last week doesn't continue to creep into our minds if something goes bad out there. And I think we got to start fast. We got to build some momentum right away and be able to just ride that and continue to play a 4-quarter game of our best. And we've talked about that this week. Our best needs to be better than what it's been the previous 3 weeks.
For Tusculum, just one running back with all the rushing touchdowns this year. How important is it to stop the rushing game tonight?
Well, it's always important. We emphasize that every single week, and so our defense aims to stop the run no matter what. And very good back that we'll be going against, and we need to do a great job of making sure everybody's in their gaps and being very disciplined.
You mentioned last week a struggle on third down, probably part of it not getting as many yards as you'd like on first down. What's the key tonight to be able to keep that ball moving, keep the offense and your young quarterback, Dominic Sampson, rolling?
Well, I think it goes back to kind of some momentum and just getting in a good flow. I think sometimes we've experienced this year where we've had maybe some good plays, some good drives going, and then all of a sudden something happens to where we disrupt that. A missed assignment, a snap infraction, somebody false starts, just something that kind of disrupts the flow of what we're doing. And we got to be able to build that flow so we can gain some confidence and be able to keep the sticks moving. And so, I expect that Dom will continue to bounce back and improve, and everybody else will continue to improve. And so we'll need to put it all together.
And with it being parents and families tonight, add a little excitement to get out to the field with the big crowd out there waiting for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's always very motivating, inspiring for families to be here. And, honestly, I think players love to play in front of their families. And so that's really special to have everybody with us tonight, and we'll be looking forward to playing well in front of them.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Great. Thanks, Trevor.
That was head coach Shane Richardson. Guys, back to you up in the booth.
Well, thank you, Trevor. And speaking of Dom Sampson, the freshman quarterback just continues to progress, and that seems to be a good thing and something Coach Shane Richardson is proud of, Josh.
Yes, sir. Good possessions.
Look at him last
touchdown
week.
field
He
goal
was
their last
able
two
to
possessions.
scramble through,
Misdirection,
moving
bringing it back
quickly
to the
under
near
a lot of
side.
pressure, and that's something he hasn't
Able to
really
stay
had
on
a
his-
lot of. Josh is just time in the pocket.
Grant breaks
while
off
he is able to
from Sampson
throw
in the
it
backfield
downfield
to throw
quickly. He's
up to
finding good
JoJo
receivers
Grant.
and making good plays, even
Clock
with the
seemingly
pressure he's
ticking
having to
fast in
face.
the third
except
quarter.
for
Sampson
a couple of
bobbling the
times that
snap,
he's
throws
just
it
been a little
outside,
too hard.
picked
So he
off.
bobbled
Plenty
that
of
snap,
room to
gave
go
up a pick six
here
on that
for
play. That time,
Kataba.
it
The
was
pick
something Coach
for
Richardson
Chris
was a
Page,
little,
and he'll take it all to work.
unfortunately,
Got a
optimistic
man in
about
motion at the bottom of the screen now. Sampson pressured.
the
and
pressure
he's
that put
brought
on him
down
is
in
just
the-
some adversity that you got to
what
seize.
Sampson has hit
Yeah,
as
you
he
really wanna
throws
see
to
better
the near
decisions
12
from
to
the young
23
quarterback
for
when
just
facing pressure in the
78
pocket
yards.
or
Hit
play
hard as he
breaks down,
throws.
essentially. He faced a lot of pressure on that particular play on the pick six, but you want to see him either take a check down or sometimes just take a sack,
Those sort of quarterback hurries can sometimes really throw a guy off, and he saw too many of those in the second half. Hopefully the offensive line can give him another chance. Moving on, though, the opposite side of the ball for Tusculum, Alex Ogle. He is a heck of a player. Look at the shedding ability he has here. That's just incredible. That's from the Week 1 game against North Greensboro.
That's Ben Roethlisberger-esque right there.
That was an incredible play. This one actually didn't result in a touchdown, though. That was just some great coverage by North Greenville, one of the two games that Tusculum has lost this season, as a matter of fact. In this game against Shorter, look at the laser beams he can throw, though. That's just incredible. A junior quarterback transferred from Boise State, sat out last season, but he really knows how to target. Look at how he can fake the defense, find how the play is designed, but still find an open man for an easy TD. He's got the power. You see in this game against Shorter, that was the only win of the season for Tusculum, but boy, oh boy, do they put it down. Again, another example, going across from the opposite play that was initially supposed to go to Max Joseph, but he found his receiver into the end zone for a touchdown. Speaking of Max Joseph, we'll talk about him in just a second. He is one heck of a player. The running back for these Tusculum Pioneers, pretty much the only running back, Josh. 5 touchdowns, leads the team with 5. Look at the power he exerts there in that game against Shorter. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah, he's a beast of a goal line back. 6'2", 130 pounds.
You were saying before the game started, though, that he looks a little heavier than that.
Oh,
He's
man.
probably got some leg power to fight his way through a lot of those things. And then when he finds openings, he breaks through. Just look at how far he can go and how much he can move laterally.
Yeah, for a big guy, he has great feet. I mean, if you look at his cuts inside in and outside of the pocket.
It's a man that finds openings through his offensive line just about anywhere on the field. If he's got to run 40 yards, if he's got to run 50 yards, if he has to run 2 yards, Josh, he finds openings on the field through his offensive line, across the offensive line, and he makes it work for himself.
That's what you want to see from your backs, especially just decisive cuts and then getting north and south real quick.
He's a guy to watch out for in this one. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, folks, we got kickoff coming your way. It's the 1-2 Pioneers facing off against your UNCP Braves. Keep it here on the UNCP Sports Network. Getting set to go here at Grace B. Johnson Stadium alongside Josh Reed. I'm Matt Sabatas. We thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. As the Pioneers and the Braves are getting set to go, UNCP won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, and Tusculum elected to kick to start the first half. Braves will be going from left to right. Back to return for the Braves are JoJo Spann and Trayvon Gibson. Or as a matter of fact, that's Devin Jones over to the right side. They're lined up at about the 5-yard line on either hash, and back to return is Gabe Schillings, or back to kick, I should say. 19 kickoffs this year, an average of 60 yards per. The first 15 minutes on the clock for this first quarter of Week 4 football. We're happy to have you along for the ride, folks, and let's get things going. Schillings from right to left. The kick on its way. It's a high one, and it's mildly short. Spann picks it up at his own 5 on the near hash, and he's between the hashes now. Over to the far side, across the 20, has a hole in some blockers to the 30, with some open space across the numbers, across midfield. The kicker just barely gets him. The ball came loose. Did Tusculum recover?
I could have sworn he was down.
It looked to be, but I saw the beanbag come out, and Tusculum has the football.
Wow. Did the kicker force the fumble on that play?
It looks like he might have. Oh, that is not a good way to start. 13 seconds off the clock on a 60-yard return by JoJo Spann, ending in a fumble.
Wow. And we were just talking about that pregame about how you want to see a spark from the special teams in the return game to set them up for success. But
That's unfortunate. So out comes Alex Ogle there on the field a little earlier than they expected. In the pistol formation, he's back to pass, looking for Maxwell Joseph. Instead goes downfield to one of his other receivers. Gets it caught on the near side to the fullback, Connor Johnston. An interesting read to start the game for the junior quarterback out of Hobe Sound, Florida. 2nd and 3 now for Tusculum College. 1 and 2 coming into the season wearing their road white jerseys with the black and orange sleeves, white pants, and some with orange socks. 2 tight ends in motion here, again under center with Maxwell Joseph, the devastating running back, 5 yards deep. The give is to the running back, and he fights off the tackle to pick up a first down just across midfield to the UNCP 48.
his running style reminds me a little bit of Derrick Henry for the Tennessee Titans. He just has that high center of gravity.
He does stay pretty high. Doesn't get too low, but he can truck a guy when it comes down to it. Scoreless first quarter, only a minute gone. Same formation, 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Ogle back to pass, a 3-step drop back, a quick sling out to the far side. Picked up by his receiver, spinning as a flag comes down, or I could be mistaken on that flag, but it'll be a first down. As a matter of fact, no flag. My mistake on that play, but the reception by Ivan Hogans, usually a linebacker, but lined up in for this game. 1st and 10 for Tusculum. Same formation. Falling is Ogle, but still makes the handoff to Joseph, and they're whistling Ogle as down. He tripped on his left guard.
Oh, man. I see that happen all the time, but the lineman takes the long set and steps on the quarterback's foot.
That was great.
He still got the ball off, though. He just stuck it up there.
He still got it to Joseph, but his knee was on the ground. Good read by the referee there, Rick St. George, but this game is already seeing a lot of action. 2nd and long now, 13 to be exact in the UNCP 40. Same formation with Joseph about 5 yards deep. Ogle under center, 4-man front incoming from UNCP. Back to passes, Ogle delayed, almost intercepted by Chris Plotch. Just overthrown and incomplete to the receiver, Keandre Banks. One of the leading receivers on this team, Banks, the redshirt freshman out of Raleigh, North Carolina, leads the team in receiving touchdowns. It's 3rd and long.
Oh, that was right through the hands of the linebacker on that play. Is that Albert Wright?
Albert Wright. I said Chris Plotch. Got my names mixed up there. Apologies. Plotch off the field, though, as a matter of fact. Usually a starter, one of the captains for this team, but he's off for this set of downs. Same formation on this 3rd and 13. 13 minutes left to go in a scoreless first quarter. Backing up in the shotgun is Ogle with Joseph to his left side. 4-man front incoming from the Braves. Back to pass on a 3-step drop back is Ogle looking downfield. Has a man complete on the near side. That's to his receiver, Jordan Barnes. But Barnes isn't able to pick up the first down. It is a gain of 7, however, but it'll bring up 4th down and a tough question incoming for the Tusculum Pioneers and head coach Jerry Odom. Do they go for the kick or do they go for the 4th down conversion? The Braves are one of only 16 teams in the nation to not allow a 4th down conversion this season. They are 0-4, Braves opponents are, and the Tusculum Pioneers are electing to try and snap that streak. Two receivers on the near side. Ogle backing up into the shotgun with Joseph to his right on this 4th and 6. Ogle calls, has it, high snap, 3-step drop back, looking to the right, pressure, up the middle throw, caught somehow across the middle, heading to the end zone, touchdown Pioneers. Evan Gates, the senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, putting the Pioneers on the board.
You'd like to see tighter coverage when they get that nickel package out there, but it's just his man beat him on a little outcrop.
The crossing routes seem to have been throwing off the secondary for UNCP the past couple of weeks, isn't it, Josh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, I love the nickel coverage.
Interesting setup. They're going for 2 on this. The Braves were confused as to what was happening.
Dang, what time was I confused? I didn't know
the
what was going on
Pioneers
out
are in
there.
the end zone. Incredible. That was Jose Esperanza, the backup place kicker. He's also the holder in that situation. The officials are going to review it, it seems. No video review here in Division II, but the Braves were not prepared for that. A fast turnaround for Tusculum.
Direct snap to the holder?
They weren't even lined up to kick it. Nobody was down. I don't even think there was a block out there.
I've never seen that formation before. I mean, I've seen teams line up in that and then come close, into regular formation, but never like that.
It was strange. 7 plays, 61 yards. That scoring drive for the Pioneers capped off by the 33-yard touchdown pass. It was to Evan Gates, as a matter of fact. Seems to be he's going to put together a good afternoon for Tusculum. And that all started with the fumbled kickoff return from Devin Jones after a 60-yard return into Tusculum territory. 8-0, 12-12 left to go here in the first quarter. Braves need to get their feet set. The defense was not expecting that entire drive.
I've heard of being stripped by the kicker, but not stripped by the kicker.
That was incredible. Gabe Schillings again. This is a high one. More on the near side. Backing up on it is Jones. He hauls it in at his own 2. And he's trying to go across the field. East to west, he has a couple of blockers. He crosses the 20 to the 25 now. Between the hashes, he's wrapped up at the 28. And a quartet of Pioneers pull him down as he fights ahead to the 29. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves there. Ever wonder why our sponsor, Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC, has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They are located next to Lumberton High School. That's Lumberton Chevy Buick Cadillac GMC. Pretty long name they got there. So our first taste now of redshirt freshman quarterback Dominic Sampson and his Braves offense for today's game. 1st and 10 at the 29. He's in the shotgun, fakes the handoff, and he's looking downfield for the first one, going for JoJo. He's just got it out of the hands, and it bounces away. Span almost pulled off a big reception to start this game right for the Braves offense, but the senior out of McDonough just couldn't get it done.
You'd like to see him reel it in. It was right in his hands, too. You'd like to see him reel it in, secure it to the body, at least catch the ball.
On bright side, though, Josh, pretty good throw from Dom Sampson.
Yeah.
That much can be said. That much can be said. 2nd and 10 on the Braves 29. 11:54 left to go in this 8-0 first quarter. Braves down. Sampson in the shotgun. This one a handoff to Grant on the near side. He's met at the line of scrimmage and brought down. That's a hard tackle from the linebacker, Lakeith Brown, former South Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year, now a senior out of Athens, Georgia. That's one of the big keys, Josh, from this Tusculum team. 3-year, 4-year starters, people who have been with this Pioneers team for years, are now getting their chance on the field. This is a critical season for Pioneers football.
Yeah, it's a very veteran team going against this young UNCP squad today.
Sampson, same formation. 2 receivers on the near, 1 on the far. It's 3rd and 10. He's back to pass, faking the handoff. Immediately under pressure, but he finds an opening as the offensive line collapses. He's across to the 40, falls down for the first down. An incredible rush from the QB, his longest of the season, as he's tackled by Malik Goodman, the free safety.
He had a pocket collapse on this play. He just stepped right into it and took off.
Sampson only 18 carries, 17 yards on the season. That was a rush for 11 yards. Incredible. 1st and 10 for the Braves at the 40-yard line with 11 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Braves trail 8-0. Each team with all 3 of their timeouts. No penalties yet, but the Braves are trying to get back into Tusculum territory after doing so on their opening possession. Jalen Nixon in motion. This one a give to Grant on the near side. He fakes around. It's Josh Sheridan, as a matter of fact. Grant was off to the sidelines, and Sheridan met at the line of scrimmage after only about a half-yard gain. See if they give him a yard at most, but it'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, I'm looking to see Josh get a lot more carries in this game. He's been really productive the last couple of weeks.
And as you say that, he heads off the field. Brian Staten in at running back. The Braves are really going to try and cycle through a lot of these running backs today, it seems. Staten only 8 carries this season. The junior out of Greenville, North Carolina. He's in the shotgun, but it'll be a rollout pass from Sampson looking downfield. It's way too high, and a stretching attempt from E.J. Williams just isn't able to haul it in. That's 3rd down.
Yeah, he kind of rushed the pass on that play.
Yeah, Williams not one of the tallest guys in this receiving corps either to pull it away. Only 6'1", the junior. 3rd and 9 for the Braves on their own 41-yard line. 10-11 left to go here in this first quarter. Sheridan back in at running back. Braves trail 8-0 in their home black jerseys. White pants, black helmets with the Brave head on the side, white and gold stripe across the center of the helmet. Sampson in the gun. Sheridan to his right. Twins on either side of him, a 4-man front with a couple of extra rushers coming. No, they back off. Sampson under pressure, can't find Sheridan on the screen. It's incomplete for a 4th down.
And just as he completed that pass, I was just about to say it. I really want to see Josh get involved in the receiving game. He's real good dual threat running back coming out of the backfield.
Only 1 reception this year for Sheridan with 2 yards, but you saw it in pregame, that acrobatic touchdown he had against Catawba, the only touchdown for the Braves against Catawba. He's got a lot of maneuverability when he's in open field.
I'd love to see him catch a screen pass in this game.
Out comes Isaac Parks. Evan Altizer back to return, one of the leading punt returners for this team. Parks doesn't get it very far. It's a high and rough spiral, bouncing first at the Tusculum 42 and rolling away. The Braves are trying to find a place to pick it up. Where are they going to spot that one? It looks like they will spot it at the 37-yard line for Tusculum with just under 10 minutes left to go here in this first quarter.
It was a bit of a short punt.
Parks has been struggling, did have a pooched kick in the first attempt against Catawba last week. We still weren't able to tell if that one was tipped or not, but he's only averaging just under 40 yards per punt. Only 1 touchback. He does have 3 of them over 50 yards, but just hasn't been able to get much production. So Ogle back out under center now. 8-0 Tusculum leads. This one a delayed handoff given to the running back, Joseph. He's trying to go east to west, and a great ducking tackle from the linebacking core. That's Chris Plotch making his presence known.
Yeah, I'm surprised they have Max Joseph running outside stretch plays. I think, his running style, he'd go more north and south. I mean, he has breakaway speed, but you'd think he'd be running more in between the tackles than outside.
We saw during pregame his offensive line was very good at opening up holes and getting through them. Was Joseph, but he hasn't tried so very much this game. 2nd and 8. Again, Joseph on the near side. The linebackers get there. He can't fight through much, as Plotch is there once again to pull him down. Make it 3rd and 5. 9:05 left to go here in this first quarter. Braves trail 8-0. The Pioneers had a 4th down opportunity on their last drive. The Braves weren't able to hold them and force the turnover on downs. First time this season, Braves weren't able to do that. See if they can get it, do it here. Back in the shotgun is Ogle. Calls for it, has it, chest high, rolling out to the far side, looking for a long pass. Nearly picked off, but tipped away thanks to fantastic coverage from Bakembe Carney.
Yeah, Carney almost undercut that route on that play.
Yavel Morris contributing on the coverage there, and that brings up 4th down. And that's when Hunter Cantrell has to come out. One of the best punters in the South Athletic Conference. Started as a true freshman. Just over 200 career punts, 49 inside the 20, and an average of just under 40 yards per punt. The senior now out of Sparta, Tennessee. He's in to boot it away. Back to return for the Braves, JoJo Spann. It's a low snap. Surprise, the Braves didn't get there in time. But it's a short one, bouncing first at the Braves 35 and rolling out of bounds onto the Tusculum sideline. Incredible.
Well,
the Braves must not have expected that.
They were all around him on that play. I'm surprised nobody got a hand on the ball.
Must have been trying to avoid the running into the kicker. That much is understandable. But it's 8:31 left to go here in the first quarter. Braves have 1st and 10 at their own 32 after the punt from Hunter Cantrell. Sampson back out along with his offense. 1 wide receiver on the far side is JoJo Spann, 2 on the near. And it looks to be Miles Grant as his running back for this set. In the shotgun is Sampson, a 4-man front incoming.
from Tusculum. Chest high snap. The give is on the far side to Sampson. No, it's a fake, and Sampson has plenty of room to run. I said Sampson, I meant Miles. Sampson gets 10 yards as a flag comes in from the back judge. We'll have to see what this one is. It could be holding, I'd probably have to say, or maybe a chop block. Let's see.
Might be a block in the back. I see new left tackle Dylan Best was downfield.
Holding on Miles Grant. That's what head referee Rick St. George has to say. And that eliminates the Braves' positive yardage.
I think he said 44. I think that was
44, did he?
tight end.
Tyzaya Eller. My apologies. I heard 24. That's what happens when the referee doesn't always have a mic to us up here in the press box, but can't complain too much. So drops the Braves back 5 yards from their original line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 15 at their own 28.
But you know that happens sometimes when the tight ends are on the edge and they're trying to seal that block, to grab somebody's jersey.
Same formation, though. Grant on the near side in the shotgun, putting a man in motion, and we have a flag for most likely a false start or illegal motion. Can't have that. Shamon Hicks, the wide receiver out of Raleigh, the true freshman, backing the Braves up 5 more. It's now 1st and 20.
Yeah, you don't want to see the offense going backwards.
Braves need momentum, and they'll try to go downfield with it. It's now 5 wide receivers for Dom Sampson, and his 4 freshman offensive linemen will have to find something. The screen pass does not take. Corey West can't extend, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, Sampson didn't have a lot of time to make a decision on that play.
Unsure if that was even a screen at this point or if the offensive line just wasn't able to put together a decent pass block. We've mentioned it before that they're stretched thin. 4 freshmen and 1 junior. Starting front, Dylan Best, Jared Johnson, Timon McMillan, Cameron Hodges, and Gage Baldwin from left to right. Miles Grant back in at running back. Only a 3-man front showing from Tusculum now as Sampson looks to pass on this 2nd down play. It's bobbled, nearly a PI, but just out of the hands of the receiver. Looks to be Shamon Hicks again, or rather, that was Quay Threat. If you're the Braves, you don't want the wind taken out of your sails at this point. 7:48 left to go in the 1st quarter, and they only trail by 8 points. But the offense is already starting to look slightly sluggish. Hopefully they can pull it back around. Sampson calls, has it. Grant, the running back, adding the extra blockage as Sampson goes downfield. It's complete on the far side to E.J. Williams, but Williams is only able to get about 10 yards. And on a 3rd and 20, that's not enough.
Yeah, I really got my eye on number 76, the new left tackle Dylan Best. He was a walk-on. He just made the team a couple weeks ago. His first start today.
Out comes the punting unit once again. Isaac Parks to boot it away. Back to return is Evan Altizer. He's lined up at his own 30 on the far hash. Parks lined up at his own 22. Face high snap, rolls out to the near side and boots it away. It's a high spiraling kick. Altizer is going to try and return it. Immediately pulled down. Beautiful special teams play by the Braves. Cameron Williams with the tackle.
Yeah, that was great coverage on that punt.
7:02 left to go here in the 1st quarter, and that's something the Braves have to smile about as they come back out on defense. 8-0 they trail, and Alex Ogle and Maxwell Joseph will be back out onto the field.
Yeah, I was surprised the returner didn't call for a fair catch. You usually got guys in your face like that. You throw the hand up real quick.
Something it seems that Braves opponents have been underestimating was simply the need to fair catch a lot of these balls. Matter of fact, it's not Maxwell Joseph. It's Lorenzo Pratt in at running back. Only 13 carries for 52 yards this season. He's 5 yards deep. Ogle under center, puts a man in motion. That's his receiver in the slot. Ogle looking to the near side. It's caught, complete on the near side to Keandre Banks, trying to fight through a defender. And after a lengthy struggle, Sean Everett finally drags him to the sideline.
Yeah, that's poor tackling on that play.
That'll be a gain of about 12. Bring up 1st and 10 for Tusculum on the 26-yard line. Or rather on the 46. My mistake. 6:44 left to go here in this first quarter. Ogle once again under center with Lorenzo Pratt. Drop back, hand off to Pratt on the far side. He finds an opening off tackle, a flag from the back judge, and Pratt is on his way to the end zone. I doubt this one will stand, though.
It's coming back.
Pioneers sidelines, some are celebrating, some...
Alex is even telling his guys to come back.
I feel like some of them might not have seen that play fully develop. Well, thanks to Rick St. George, this game is not 14-0. It stays 8-0.
Yeah, when you see that quarterback stagnant at midfield, waving his guys back, you know it's coming back.
Would have been a 52-yard touchdown run, the first of the year for Lorenzo Pratt, and would have tied his season total of yards in one rush.
Yeah, sometimes when holes open up that good, sometimes it's too good to be true.
Yeah, it's all about the woulda, shoulda, coulda. 8-0, the score remains. 6:27, the Braves trail. But it's now 1st and 20 after the holding penalty on Tusculum. Ogle under center with his fullback now, Will Boney, 5 yards back alongside Maxwell Joseph. The give is on the near side of Joseph. He finds an opening off the near side tackle and fights through before Sean Everett pulls him down on a 5-6-yard gain. Make it 7.
That guy falls for 5 yards.
That's for sure. He's got the height to do so. 6'2", as a running back.
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 12. 6 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Same formation with the fullback, Will Boney. Ogle under center. 3-step drop back, looking to the far side for a deep laser. Over the shoulder, is it caught? No. Beautiful throw to Keandre Banks, but just a little too far out to the sidelines, and Banks wasn't able to make a play.
That Devin Jones in coverage, you want to see him turn around and look for the ball in that play. Had that guy caught it, that would have been, you would have heard a lot more stomping up here from the coaches in the press box.
I don't think he was expecting the ball to be released that fast. Just under 6 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Braves trail 8-0, but it's 3rd and 12 for Tusculum on their own 46-yard line.
Back in that nickel coverage. You see they play real tight when they have the nickel coverage out there.
Ogle in the gun with Joseph to his right side. 3-step drop back, pressure. Ogle in scrambling. A flag comes in, and Ogle is dropped in the backfield by Albert Wright.
Probably a holding offensive line, but they're going to decline that real quick.
Absolutely. First sack of the season for Wright, the senior, out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But let's hear what referee Rick St. George has to say. And Josh, you're right again. Braves are definitely going to decline that one.
Yeah, sometimes you can just read the body position of the offensive lineman or the quarterback, like, I already know what it is. Holding play, bring it back.
Now let's see if Hunter Cantrell is pressured as much as he was on that last punt. As JoJo Spann is back to return, lined up between the hashes at his own 20-yard line. A 5-man front coming in for the pressure, but Cantrell gets it away. One bounce, and backing up, Spann picks it up. He's got a little bit of room, trying to stay on his feet as he returns just outside the numbers, and he gets shoved out of bounds, looks to be at the 24-yard line. Fair return for the fact that he was backpedaling while he held that in at the 19.
But once again, this UNCP special teams unit is bringing the heat on those punts.
The tides of this game, Josh, could absolutely be turned if it weren't for that opening kickoff.
Yeah.
Incredible. A 60-yard kickoff return from JoJo Spann, fumbled on a tackle by the kicker at the Tusculum 40-yard line.
Like, oh, you know he's going to hear about that from his friends on Monday.
Oh, yeah. Well, out is Dom Sampson. The red shirt freshman out of Cary, North Carolina. Josh Sheridan, his running back to the left side. 4-man front incoming, faking the give and a quick screen out to the far side, picked up by his receiver. That's JoJo Grant. Grant flies out across the numbers and picks up the first.
You're probably going to see a lot of that quick passing now, since that offensive line, like we've already discussed, is really inexperienced.
First and 10 now at the 37-yard line in Braves territory. Just about 5 minutes left to go in this first quarter as the Braves trail 8-0. Sheridan still the running back as this is a pass coming from Sampson. He's looking downfield. It's complete perfectly. Shamon Hicks, and he breaks the defender down to the 30, the 25, tripped up and wrapped away. He can't pull it away, but what a play from Shamon Hicks. Jay Boyd, the strong safety, one of the best defensive men on this Pioneers team, preseason first team all conference, was able to make the play. But the Braves are in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19.
What a move Hicks put on the defender, though, to get loose on that play. He's breaking those arm tackles and streaking down the field.
That's
Too bad
something
he got hawked.
that's something the players will see next week in that highlight video.
Oh, yeah.
1st and 10, 4:37 as the Braves will look to get into the end zone for the first time tonight. Sampson, the give to Sheridan. Fighting through, splits a couple of defenders, cuts back, has an opening, and a blocker still on his feet to the end zone. Touchdown Braves. Josh Sheridan does it again.
Wow. Oh, man, the cutbacks, the decision-making, that was amazing.
What a play.
Like I said, I
He's
expect
all
Josh to get
smiles. Look at him.
I expect him to get a lot of carries in this game. He's been their most impressive runner these last couple of weeks.
Now, do the Braves look to tie it or simply go with the PAT? That's the question. And it looks like they're just going to go for the PAT. Alex Avardo coming out to attempt. He's 11 for 11 this season. Long snapper is Ryan Watkins. The holder is third-string quarterback Austin Foley. Avardo is ready. Foley is ready. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. 8-7 now our score. The Braves, in their 12 trips to the red zone this season, have converted 12 different scores, including that score right there. 9 touchdowns in their 12 trips to the red zone. That's pretty good.
They just got to get there. If they get down there, they can punch it in more times than not.
Pretty darn good, if you ask me.
Yeah, going back to the run, I'm going to have to get Josh Dapp on that one when we got class together on Monday.
He was all smiles coming off onto the sidelines, and he had every reason to be. 8-7 now our score, 4:23 left to go here in the first quarter as the Braves still trail. 3 plays, 76 yards, spanning only a minute and 3 seconds, capped off by the 19-yard touchdown run from Josh Sheridan. His touchdown last week ended up in the top 10 NCAA plays of the week across all sports and all divisions. I think that one might make an appearance just as well this upcoming Monday.
But you know what? That whole entire drive really laid the game plan of what I expect to see more going on in this game. Quick strike passing game and decisive runs in between the tackles.
So out comes Nate Williams to kick this one off. Has the ball set where he likes it on the far side of the 35-yard line. Back to return for Tusculum. Martez Thompson and Jay Boyd. Boyd, mentioned it just a couple of seconds ago, all-conference first team this preseason as a safety. He was all-conference first team last season as a kick returner. Let's see what he has in it. He picks it up at his own 11-yard line, and he finds a hole across the 30 to the 40. He's just got to beat the kicker now to the 40, the 30. The kicker slows him up, and the Braves pull him down at the 25. Nate Williams gave it his best, and he made it count, but the Pioneers have some pretty darn good field position to start.
Yeah, you hate to say, just when I was glorifying their coverage on special teams, they allow a huge run. I mean, at least the good thing for Nate Williams, what he did, he made the runner indecisive in the fact he allowed one of his teammates to come and get him from the backside.
Boyd was forced to cut back, and that gave the Braves the opportunity to close the gap. 4:11 left to go here in this first quarter. But now Tusculum is already knocking on the door to try and increase their 1-point lead. Ogle takes it near side to Joseph. Off the tackle, maybe about a 2-yard gain. Or rather, not Joseph in. Again, they're swapping through with Lorenzo Pratt. Pratt getting more touches than usual already in this week. Joseph came into today leading the team with 57 carries. Pratt only had 13.
Yeah, I thought they were going to feed the beast to Max Joseph. He's still not in there.
Pratt 5 yards back as Ogle sits under center. 2 tight ends in motion as they back up now into the shotgun. Ogle resets. 2nd and 9. Ogle claps. Wide receiver in motion. That's Evan Altizer. The give on the jet sweep to him as a flag comes in. Altizer on his way to the end zone. Is this one coming back or not?
Probably coming back again.
If it is, I cannot imagine that Jerry Odom can be pleased. That would be 14 total points lost to penalties.
Yeah, sometimes on those jet sweeps and those stretch outside zone plays, you'll get somebody trying to get a reach block, end up hooking the defender.
Oh, and it's not even that. It's just a false start.
Oversimplification.
Oh my gosh, Rick St. George with the call from the officiating crew, and like I said, Jerry Odom cannot be happy with that. 2 penalties taking away touchdowns, and we're not even through the first quarter yet. 2nd and 13 following that penalty, 3:27 left to go here in the first quarter. Ball set up on the near hash. As the Braves defensive line swaps through. A 4-man front incoming as it's still Lorenzo Pratt. 5 yards deep in this under center play for Alex Ogle. Ogle, low snap, but he takes it, feeds it to Pratt on the far side. Pratt finds an opening, and the secondary is able to wrap him up and take him down. That's Josh Manns contributing on the tackle for UNCP.
Yeah, you don't want to see him gain that many yards on first down. On second down.
Either way, a big gain after a short penalty. 3rd and 2 for Tusculum, and this is well within the range of Isaac Gallegos, the field goal and PAT kicker. Under 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Same formation as Ogle sits under center. Calls for it, has it, near side, give to Pratt. Pratt trying to go east to west with it, and he's got the speed, just shoved out of bounds with fortunate timing from Josh Manns.
Get the first down.
Looks like he did. It all depends. The officials are trying to line it. Yep, they get it.
They got it. Well, there was great penetration by the defensive line on that play. You just want to see them shoot. Want to see once you get penetration by the defensive line, you want to see the linebackers shoot the gaps and get that in the backfield.
It looks to just be that speed from Lorenzo Pratt. He's clearly much faster than Maxwell Joseph.
He got the corner real quick.
Same formation under center is Ogle. The give on the near side. And the defensive line makes a quick swallow. Not much more to say about that one. Yeah. 8-7 Braves trail, 2:20 left to go. It's 2nd and 10.
It's always good to see a good stalemate in the line of scrimmage.
That's something this defensive line can really benefit from. Khalil Vance sitting out this game. The starting front was Alpha Lamine, Nathan London, Cyrus Stomback, and T.Y. Hinton. Dominique Davis contributing on that stop, specifically for UNCP. 2nd and 9 now. Under 2 minutes to go in this quarter. Ogle under center, has it. 4-step drop back. He's looking to the right side. Instead, finds an opening with Keandre Banks. Banks met by the secondary, and they were able to pull him down. Albert Wright contributing on that tackle, alongside another one of his linebacking crew. That's Lucas Brim. Third and about 5. Coming up on the final minute of the first quarter. This game is taking its time for only one score apiece from each side. Ogle under center, still sticking with Pratt in the backfield. 5 yards deep is the running back, 1 wide receiver on the near side, 2 tight ends on the far side. Ogle a 5-step drop, looking to the right, up under, and it's caught to Banks on the screen. Banks scrambles for the first down before he's pulled down. Sean Everett, the cornerback, making the play. Now it's 1st and goal for Tusculum.
Is that Khalil Vance out there, 91?
I believe so.
Probably just rotating a lot of bodies up there in the front line.
Are they not saying it's 1st down? They're measuring. They brought the ball over to the far side. Let's see. They yank the chain. That should be good. 1st down. So Tusculum will have 1st and goal at the Braves 4. 1:03 left to go in this first quarter. The clock will reset when the official gives word, as Tusculum is looking to increase their 1-point lead.
Yeah, look for them to hand the ball off to Max Joseph in this situation here. 4 yards to go.
Joseph in with the fullback, Will Boney. Under center is Ogle. Ogle claps, has it. Fumbles as he gives to Joseph, or I shouldn't say fumbles, trips as Joseph powers into the end zone once again. His 6th touchdown on the season, leads the South Athletic Conference. And that's exactly why. That is a powerful running back.
Yeah, he's the number 1 goal line back. They get 5 yards or shorter. They're giving it to him in the goal line.
So let's see what Tusculum does after pulling off the 2-point conversion last time around, and they're pulling them in now to go for the regular kick. Well, that's why. Jose Esperanza is attempting the PAT instead of Isaac Gallegos. Esperanza is 3 for 5 this season as he boots it away and splits the uprights. So 15-7 now our score with just 47 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. 7 plays, 25 yards that drive, spanning 3 minutes and 24 seconds, capped off by a 4-yard touchdown run from Maxwell Joseph, his conference leading 6th of the year. That's something that, while it's only the first quarter, Joseph, I would not have expected how quickly Tusculum is moving on their drives.
You know what it was? It was all set up by that great special teams play that by the returner and the lack of lane integrity on the coverage unit of the UNCP on that last kickoff.
Absolutely. Starting at the 25 after the 70-yard return from Jay Boyd. It's the exact reason he was first team all-conference as a kick returner last year. And now Jose Esperanza is back out to kick this one off. It was Isaac Gallegos to start, but now it's Esperanza, so we can assume something happened. You saw in pregame, Esperanza missed the overtime field goal.
I think it was
in
blocked.
the game against Limestone. It was blocked, but he still missed it. Technicalities, Josh, come on.
A block is a block.
Back to return for the Braves, JoJo Spann and Devin Jones. Esperanza boots it away. End over end, it's a deep one. Spann picks it up 3 yards deep in his own end zone and drops down to 1.
And hopefully that fumble didn't shake his confidence. You still want to see him take some chances on some kicks, but yeah, I guess this part of the game you want to see them offense get on the field quicker.
So set the chains to the 25, and the Braves will have 1st and 10 with 47 seconds left to go in this opening quarter of play. They trail by 8. As Dom Sampson, Miles Grant in the offense will head out onto the field. Or rather, it's Connor Stowe. Sampson on the sideline, and Stowe, the redshirt freshman out of Chapel Hill, is in the game. The give is on the near side to Grant, and he's swallowed by the line of scrimmage after only a gain of 2. Curious to see why Stowe has been brought in, as Sampson has his helmet off and seems to be his shoulder pads on the sideline, or no, his pads are off. Are they?
I think they're still on.
Yeah, they're still on. He's a small guy. He's got small pads. Either way, Stowe in at quarterback. Chest-high snap on the near side. Pump fakes, and he's rolling out with it as the pocket collapses. He's pulled at the shoulder and brought down after only about a 3-yard gain. Good tackle on the play by number 2, Martez Tompkins, the cornerback for Tusculum.
Yeah, he didn't really go through all the progressions on that play. He kind of just tucked it and took off.
That's one of the big issues that we've talked with Coach Richardson about at length, is that with these freshmen, they can't always establish the way a play needs to progress when the pocket starts to collapse. We've reached the end of the first quarter. We'll talk to you a little bit after this quick break right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When it comes to saving money,
What?
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting.
This is so humiliating. Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap.
You were saying. And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers.
Tusculum College and the UNCP Braves trading off scores in the first quarter, but Tusculum with their 2-point conversion and their closing score, a 4-yard touchdown run from Maxwell Joseph, have taken the lead here 15-7. Connor Stowe hit as he throws on this first play, and it's well overthrown, intended for E.J. Williams, and Stowe is getting a taste of the young and fresh offensive line that he's having to deal with. That brings up 4th down, and the Braves immediately have to punt at the start of this second quarter. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabatis, here from Grace P. Johnson Stadium.
I'm still really curious of why Dom's helmet is off. He's not being evaluated by any trainers or anything. It's just
High snap on the punt. Isaac Parks gets it away in time. It's a beautiful spiral. Backing up on it, no fair catch signaled as Evan Altizer is taking it. Going east to west now, he has an opening across midfield to the Braves 40. Tackled at the feet and just pulled down as he slips across the 35. The Braves, Justin Davis, or James Martin rather, making another game-saving play. This special teams unit is starting to lose momentum.
Yeah, first kick coverage, now punt coverage. You really don't want to see that. And you can hear the special teams coordinator up here just stomping his foot. Can't have that.
So out comes this Tusculum offense. 1st and 10 as fullback Will Boney was absent from that huddle. There he is. This Braves defense needs to get things moving. 1st and 10 at the Braves 32. Ogle under center. Has it. Give. Far side. Joseph. Met. Dropped. Backfield. Perfect tackle for loss from the Braves on that play. Cyrus Stonback, the junior starter out of Rockingham, the NC State transfer, or NC Central transfer, I should say, making a good play.
Yeah, that's how you got to stop a guy like Max Joseph in the backfield. You can hold on to him for a little bit, let everybody else come and rally.
This is an offensive line from Tusculum that, while they are experienced, they have been struggling. They've allowed over a full sack more per game this year than they were in all of 2016 through these first 3 games. 2nd and 10, Ogle in the gun. Claps has it, chest high, 3-step drop back. Looking at the near side, it's complete to Keandre Banks. And Banks falls down with it, or rather, set of Banks. That was the junior, Deshaun Davis, out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. His first reception of the season. And it's a big one for Tusculum College. Puts them back in the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the Braves 15.
Yeah, if Cyrus Stonback was only a second sooner, he would have got a sack on that play, maybe even a forced fumble.
Braves swapping through some linebackers. Colton Weeks, the freshman from High Point, in the game now. Braves bringing a 4-man front and an extra backer. Under center is Ogle with Joseph on the near side. The give is to Joseph going off tackle. Splits through a hole, but the Braves defense tries to swallow him up. Tyreek Ramseur with the tackle, but it's a 6-yard gain for Joseph. Ramseur, one of the most experienced players on this team, even as a redshirt freshman. Back at his high school in Shelby, North Carolina, went 16-0 as a senior with 7 interceptions his senior year. Won a state championship in North Carolina. 13 minutes left to go here in this first half. Ogle under center. 4-man front from the Braves coming. Joseph on the far side, met behind the line of scrimmage, and the Braves drag him down. Nathan London, the starter, making the play. This Braves defensive line is improving. That's one of the biggest points of emphasis that Coach Richardson has been talking about.
Yeah, the refs missed it on that play, but it was a face mask on that play by one of the Braves defenders, but I won't say anything if you won't.
Don't bring it up, Josh. 12:45 left to go here in this first half. 15-7 Braves trail, but a tackle for loss from Nathan London gives the Braves a little bit of a chance here. The officials having a conference just around the ball at the marker between the hashes. The Braves 12 to be exact, as they reset the clock now. 2 receivers on the far side, one on the near. Maxwell Joseph, the running back, as Ogle is once again under center. Never mind, he backs up to the shotgun. Joseph out on the near side, and we've got whistles. The play clock was not expiring. No need for a timeout, as it was only at 10, but it looks like the officials are having more conversations about what the clock needs to be at. Rick St. George isn't signaling anything. I'm confused here. Either way, we're back to play. Let's try again. Ogle in the gun. Joseph to his right side. Claps. Has it. Chest high. 3-step drop back. Looking for Joseph. Has him. Head-to-head contact nearly, but no flag as Joseph is brought down. But Kembe Kearney the stop for UNCP. And the Braves coaching box is getting a little frustrated.
Yeah, you think when you run zone defense like they were just in that previous play, you'd have somebody sitting there on the sticks at the first down, but they let the receiver get behind them.
just enough to move the chains. Another first and goal situation.
Expect to see Max Joseph on this play.
Joseph with a 4-yard touchdown run the last time the Pioneers were in the red zone, and he's in alongside Will Boney.
Back in the I formation.
4-man front incoming. Slot in motion. That's Brukelbaker. Joseph the give. He's met by Plotch at the line of scrimmage, and the Braves swarm.
You got stoned at the line of scrimmage on that play. That's what you want to see from your linebackers and your defensive line.
Textbook tackle. Plotch set his feet, got low, and went with the shoulder.
The low man always wins.
Gain of about half a yard. Makes it 2nd and 4. They'll say it's a full. 11:32 left to go in this first half. Braves only trail by 8. They've come back from bigger deficits. But Maxwell Joseph is a threat to behold.
Always in the side of the field.
Braves stuffing the box. Brukelbaker in motion. The give, Joseph far side. Again met at the line of scrimmage. He charges through, but once again, Code Black swallows him up.
That's what you want to see.
Plotch on the tackle. As the officials are resetting the spot. It's going to be on the far hash after a, looks to be 2-yard gain, I want to say.
Yeah, Max trying to drive the pile on that play, but they had that the defensive line really anchored that play, and they got the good pushback.
They're going to put it on the 1. Let's see how this goes. The I formation has been getting him inches and inches.
Gut check. It's gut check time.
Bruckelander in motion. Back to it. Ogle takes it himself. Met at the line. Did he get it?
Nope.
Doesn't look like it.
Nope. Short.
The Braves are saying 4th down, and so are the officials. What a stop from the Braves defense.
So that's gut check time right there. 4th and short, 4th and inches.
Opponents are 7 for 8 coming into this game, along with the Pioneers' 1 red zone trip earlier. They are 8 for 9.
You might try another QB sneak on this play.
Let's see. Same I formation. Bruckelander, the tight end on the near side.
They got blitz.
And there goes Ogle. The Braves look to stop him again. Let's see. Boney is headed to the sidelines in celebration, but the officials have to clear the scrum. It's a turnover on downs.
Yep, didn't get it.
What a stop from the Braves defense. Maxwell Joseph gave it his all to bring it to the 1. Or no, it's a touchdown. I think the officials could have signaled that.
What?
Didn't see any signal. So in comes Jose Esperanza to attempt the PAT. It's 21-7 now in favor of Tusculum. The holder is Ian Foley. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up, and the kick is good. I'm not blind, am I, Josh?
I'm looking the same thing here looking at. Nobody said anything. If anything, I thought they had it stopped on there on 4th and inches.
I didn't see a signal, but I'll chalk that up to my eyes. 22-7. A 9-play, 32-yard drive spanning 4 minutes and 51 seconds, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run from Alex Ogle on his 2nd attempt at the QB sneak.
So the questionable 1-yard touchdown run.
Yeah. And as I've mentioned already, no video
replay.
review in NCAA D2.
If only.
I know they have it in basketball sometimes.
I mean, you think the line judge at the goal line would have clearly saw that? He didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, from where I'm standing, it didn't look like he crossed the goal line.
Well, we'll have to see how the Braves respond. JoJo Spann and Devin Jones back to return this one. Before we get this kickoff, Adidas is the official apparel sponsor for all 16 UNC Pembroke varsity athletic teams. Adidas provides some of the most innovative products in the shoe and apparel industry and is one of the most recognizable brands worldwide. We thank Adidas for all of its support in offering UNC Pembroke the best for our student athletes. I got a little bit of Adidas gear myself. As part of working at this school, and I'm going to say, they put together a fine product. Still don't have an official ball yet. And Jose Esperanza is just standing around his block, confused. I think the back judge, Zach Gilbert, was chatting with head coach Shane Richardson, and I think Richardson might have had a few of the same qualms you and I were having up here in the press box.
I would too if I was Coach Rich.
So here's Esperanza, has his line where he likes it, far hash of the 35. Jones and Spann to return. They're lined up at their own 3. From left to right, Esperanza boots it. It's a short one, end over end, picked up at the 13-yard line. Jones is taking it with a blocker from, or Span taking it with a blocker from Jones. A flag comes in as Span crosses to the 25 on the near hash. Most likely a hold, I'd like to say.
Probably a hold or a block in the back. You really don't want to see guys try to get lateral on those kick returns. You want to see a guy similar to the Tusculum returners, just get north and south, make one cut and just get going.
From the amount of people in the area already, I would say hold, but you never know. Here's the referee, Rick St. George.
It's typically a hold or a block in the back.
Yeah. Oh.
Illegal block?
A chop block. We should probably just stop guessing what the penalties are, Josh, at this point.
At least I got the block part right.
Yeah. So it'll back the Braves up, but it'll stay 1st and 10, now at their own 12-yard line.
Dom's back at quarterback now.
Dom is back in the game. Connor Stowe went 0 for 1 passing, so seems to be they want to stick with Dom. He's only 3 for 8, but 71 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns, and that is clearly a false start.
False start on JoJo on that play.
The offensive line had no clue. Penalties, penalties, penalties. The Braves aren't...
Oh, it's offsides on defense.
Maybe JoJo just wasn't lined up far enough to cross the line of scrimmage, perhaps.
Maybe JoJo saw one of the defensive linemen take off, so he took off.
This has been a strange game penalties-wise. 2 penalties taking away touchdowns for Tusculum. We've seen an illegal chop block. We've seen that.
Questionable goal line calls.
Low snap as Sampson looks downfield. Slings it for the first down, caught by Williams. He's to the 30. 4-man come in, and Braves are looking to push the pile. They pick up 5 more.
That's what you want to see from your offensive lineman.
I love it. Gage Baldwin, the right tackle, getting in there. He knows how to continue the play. That's something you don't see as much in a redshirt freshman. But I tell you, Coach Richardson is proud to see that play unfold.
That's what you see when you see receiver fight facts. You're out the offensive lineman. You want to get down there and help him out too.
What a heck of a play. The Chains are a little slow to follow this one. They're still just standing there. This is a bit of a lethargic game as both sides are headed to the sideline. Do we have a timeout? Timeout Tusculum. Man, oh man. So 22-7, let's reset here. 9:30 rather, left to go here in this first half. The game started with Tusculum, a 7-play, 61-yard drive, only taking 2.5 minutes after a 65-yard return from JoJo Span was fumbled in Tusculum territory. The Pioneers got on the board first, went with a trick play on their PAT. I can assume the Braves had scouted that. They probably saw it on film to some degree. But when they set up like that, Tusculum, you just can't expect which way they're going to go.
I mean, really, the story of the game for Tusculum is, they've been working with short fields all game long.
Exactly. Braves responded with a 3-play, 76-yard drive. Josh Sheridan, a 19-yard rush, breaking through at least 4 defenders to find his way into the end zone. That made it 7-8. But then it's been Tusculum the last 2 times. 47 seconds left in the first quarter. It was Maxwell Joseph again into the end zone for his 6th touchdown of the season, and Alex Ogle, a QB sneak, to keep us at 22-7 here. Sampson to the far side. It's complete to Quay Threat, and Threat dives over a defender. Rather, JoJo Grant, the junior out of Newport, making the play and coming up just about 2 yards shy of moving the chains.
It was a nice play action play by Dom. He really sold the defenders on it. They were all coming for, who's that, in the backfield?
Looks to be Miles. Or actually, no, that's Brian Staten.
Either way, it was a good fake.
Yeah. Grant off the field, the receiving corps cycling through. Once again, it's E.J. Williams on the near side with a couple of others. Looks to be Shaman Hicks, but Brian Staten, the running back, faking the give to him, providing some extra blockages. Sampson finds an opening and picks up the first and a little bit more out to the 25 before he steps out of bounds. A man in pursuit. That was Jalen Kesterson, the nose guard out of Mosheim, Tennessee. But Sampson is really starting to find his footing as a quarterback.
And he did, and really on that play, he went through the progressions first, saw nobody was open downfield, and felt the pressure, pocket closing around him, and just took off.
Maybe that little extra time on the sideline did wonders for the man. New running back again This is Quadron Williams, one of the captains for this team. 1st and 10 for the Braves at the 24-yard line. 22-7 they trail, 8:27 left to go here in the first half. In the shotgun is Sampson. 3 receivers on the near side. Quay Threat goes in motion, lines up as a slot. Fakes the give to Williams, and Sampson loses the ball. There's a fight for it at the line of scrimmage. Who's got it? Looks to be Tusculum. They're calling for it, and it's the Pioneers' ball.
He pulled it too late. You got to be more decisive when you run in that option play.
I don't even think it was much of an option. I think Sampson just stuck it a little too far into Quadron Williams' chest before he pulled it back. Unfortunate.
That was a really good drive they had going there, too.
First turnover forced, or I guess second turnover for Tusculum. First defensive turnover forced. They had the special teams turnover earlier. It's now the 6th on the year for the Braves. As I mentioned, one of the leading teams in the nation when it comes to defensive turnovers forced, but the offense is starting to struggle a little bit. Give to Joseph on the near side, finds an opening between the near side guard and tackle, and fights up for a 6-yard gain down to about the 32-yard line.
Max Joseph is a load, man. He's out there taller than some of his offensive linemen.
That's an understatement. Tackle on the play made by Tyreek Ramsear, and it's 2nd and 2. Ogle under center again with his fullback Boney and his running back once again. Play action pass as the pocket collapses. Ogle. That was just a poor play.
Yeah, it's poor blocking by his senior offensive line.
T.Y. Hinton with the sack, 3rd on the year for the redshirt junior.
It's great pressure by the defense, but you want to see those guys claw at that ball the same way that Tusculum was doing our quarterback today.
Loss of 2 on the play, 22-7 with 7:12 left to go here in the first half. 3rd and 4 on the Pioneers' own 30. Joseph in the backfield. Under center is Ogle. 4-man front from the Braves. They're set to go, so is Ogle. Ogle calls for it, has it, 3-step drop, quick sling out to the near side, and it's complete for a first down. Picked up by Evan Altizer, the senior out of Weddington, North Carolina. Or rather, Evan Gates. There's 2 Evans on this team. Got to remember that part. Charlotte, North Carolina, one of the key players on this team. 13 receptions, 161 yards coming into today's game. Behind Evan Altizer, the other Evan on this team, who has 167 yards.
Yeah, Ogle knew exactly where he wanted to go in that play.
1st and 10 on the 36-yard line, 6.5 to go in this first half. Low snap, Ogle has it, give on the near side to Joseph. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and a flag comes in. I could see this being helmet-to-helmet contact just based on the tackle, but you never know. Alpha Lamine with the stop for the Braves. Another chop block. Huh. Through 3 games, we haven't seen that penalty for the Braves, and now we've seen it twice. Once going against them and once going in favor.
Yeah, you see that a lot in those outside runs in those stretch zone plays. You see the tackles or the guard to try to chop one of the interior linemen.
6:23 left to go here in this half, and that's a penalty you can never really have. Drops it back 15. It's going to be 1st and 25. At the Pioneers' 22. Clock restarts. 6:15 now left to go in the half as Ogle will try and get something done. Looks to be Keandre Banks, or rather Lorenzo Pratt, back in at running back. It's a pitch out to him. With a blocker from Will Boney, the fullback, he can only pick up about 4 yards. Chris Plotch, the stop for UNCP, and the Braves have a chance here at 2nd down and I'd say about 20 to go.
See if they can get off the field here on this side of the field, give their offense somewhat of a short field, and see if we can get some points before halftime.
Hunter Cantrell has not had to punt the ball inside his own 25 tonight. Braves defense could use this. Ogle under center with Pratt. Low snap, he recovers, give on the near side to Pratt. The defensive line is there. Alpha Lamine once again contributing on that is T.Y. Hinton. What a play.
That was
Hinton's hobbling though.
That was a great lateral movement by the entire left side of the defense was just swarmed over there.
They just shoved that O-line. Hinton cringing a little, looks to be the right leg, but he's going to stick it out. So third and very, very long, 21 to be exact. Just under 5 to go in the half. 4-man front incoming from the Braves. Pratt once again the running back with 4 receivers. Delayed handoff and immediately brought down. T.Y. Hinton is getting in work. 4th down, Tusculum.
Great penetration with a tackle for loss in that play. He just shot the gap and just got him right around the legs.
Hinton is fairly excited. His 4th tackle for loss this season. That'll bring out Hunter Cantrell, and that'll send JoJo Spann back to return. Spann coming into the game. 10 returns, only averaging just over 2 yards per. The Braves have put pressure on Cantrell all night, and they're doing it again. Not able to get it away as Spann pulls it in at the 39-yard line with a blocker on the laser kick, and he can only pick up about 3 yards to the near side.
Even though he didn't run far on that play, it was good to see JoJo just, get north and south instead of trying to cut it back cross field or try to move too much laterally.
So with 4 minutes left to go in the half, the Braves will have to try and punch one into the end zone. Again, a reminder, Tusculum kicked to start this half. UNCP won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, and Tusculum elected to kick. Braves, on that return, fumbled the ball on a 60-yard return, leading to Tusculum's first scoring drive. Sampson again in at quarterback, the give on the near side to Miles Grant, and he fights through for about a gain of 5 before he's brought down by the defensive line. Tackle on the play made by Randy Hooks, the junior linebacker out of Auburn.
Just some tempo on this drive from the Braves offense. A little slow out there today.
2nd and 5 at the Braves' 47. It's been some time before they've crossed their last midfield. Sampson with the play action finds an open receiver in Quay Threat, and Threat picks up the first down at the 42.
That was a dart by Dom on that play.
That's definitely been one of his finer points, is the ability to lob one up when he needs to and laser one when he needs to.
Yep, the quick passing game has really been outstanding today for the Braves. It's just they got to complete drives and not turn the ball over.
Threat came into this game only 2 receptions for 9 yards. That was a reception for 9 yards. A lot of these Braves are putting in quality receptions, quality work today. Sampson fakes the give on the near side, and he's quickly under pressure. Tries to escape it. He's still looking downfield, but he's going to take it himself and gets wrapped up after only about a 1-yard gain. Excellent pass coverage and an excellent play from the defensive end, Javon Green, to break that one up.
It was a good move by Dom, faking out the first defender that got in the backfield and actually got a yard instead of losing 3 or 4.
Clock continues to run, and the Braves are not even in field goal range yet. It's 2nd and 9 at the Tusculum 41. They trail 22-17 with 2.5 left to go in this opening half. In the shotgun with Grant to his left side. Sampson claps, has it, face high, fakes the give to Grant. He's keeping it himself. Sampson had a little open room and gets an extra blocker, ducks down as he gets tackled from behind after about a 5-yard gain. Looks like the defender who got him is struggling a little. Martez Tompkins, the cornerback, coming away a little shaken, but he's good to go. Sampson good as well, but it's 3rd and 4. The Braves need a conversion on this one. They're 26% on their 3rd down conversions this season. That's a number they need to see going up.
Because often they find themselves in 3rd and long.
Isaac Parks putting his helmet on the sideline. The Braves hopefully don't need him. They bring in Josh Sheridan to go for it, and the man powers his way for the first down. 4 different defenders got a hand on him, but Sheridan is getting it done.
For guys only 5'9" and 205, he's really moving the pile tonight.
That energy has to be flowing for a guy his size. 22-7 Braves still trail, but the clock is not stopping. Tusculum has used 1 timeout. The Braves have not. 1st and 10 at the Tusculum 30. They should probably pick up the pace a little. Sheridan's still the running back on this one. In the gun is Sheridan. Putting a man in motion is Williams. Play action. Near side, incomplete.
Right through his hands.
Jalen Nixon, the intended receiver, the sophomore out of Durham, North Carolina.
I actually thought Dom was going to hit E.J. Williams on the crossing route. He looked pretty open. I thought he would have not gotten to the end zone, but at least got another first down.
One of the things Sampson could improve on, Josh, and struggled with it last week too, is just deep passes in general. Last week he had one completed pass of 10 yards. That was his long.
Well, first play of the game, they went deep to JoJo. If he had hauled it in, that would have been somewhat of an improvement.
16 yards is his longest run today. 12 yards is his longest pass. This one a fake on the give. The draw doesn't take as Martez Tompkins is there once again, or rather D. Alford, the sophomore out of Griffin, Georgia, one of the team's leading tacklers there to make the play.
I don't know about running QB draws or any kind of option plays
with the clock going down.
Less than a minute, you got to air this thing out.
Braves still have all their timeouts, but it's 3rd and 10. Not really in field goal range to much of a degree as they go with a quick snap. Plenty of time in the pocket, and off the hands of E.J. Williams.
Wow. He's going to get a stern talking to at halftime from his receivers coach on that play.
Not much you can say about that one. That brings up 4th and 10. Williams had the hands for that one. It just went off his face and onto the grass. Braves most likely take a timeout here. Oh no, Tusculum taking a timeout.
You might say incomplete pass. There was no need for a timeout if you're going to kick the field goal anyways, if you're the Braves. But
maybe just give Alex Alvarado a little bit of a chance to warm back up, but still. So 32 seconds left to go here in this first half. The Braves trail 22-7. And it'll be a 48-yard attempt from Alvarado. His longest this season is 38 yards. It's also his career long. He is a freshman, but still.
Hopefully the young man can pull through for his team for halftime.
Alvarado 3 for 3 on the season. 2 of them from over 30 yards, 1 from just under. He's 12 for 12 on his PATs, but this is going to be his biggest test yet. Holder is Ryan Watkins, or the holder is Austin Foley. The long snapper is Ryan Watkins. It'll be 48 yards just from a shade to the right. Bardo has his steps. Foley calls for it, has it. Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up. It's got the distance, and it's good.
They just made it in there.
48 yards, a new career long, makes it 22-10. Still in favor of the Pioneers, but with a pretty big momentum boost for the Braves to head into the halftime locker room with. 27 seconds remaining in this first half, and they'll actually need to make a stop, though, if they want to hold on to that momentum.
What they need to do is not let their special teams give up another long return on this ensuing kickoff.
Folks, a reminder from our sponsors. When UNC Pembroke athletes train and compete, Scotland Healthcare System will be part of the team as the official healthcare provider for UNCP athletics. Led by Ortho Carolina Scotland orthopedic physician Dr. Richard Alexander, their specialists will cover every football and men's basketball game this year. From practice drills to kickoff and tip-off, Scotland's medical experts will oversee training staff operations. It's one more way Scotland Healthcare is keeping its commitment to be there for the region, delivering closer care that's better by far. A 9-play, 29-yard drive that ate up 3 minutes and 35 seconds, capped off by the 48-yard field goal from Alex Alvarado. 27 seconds remaining here in the half. The Braves will go in with a deficit. That much is a given. But with the astounding special teams that Tusculum has fielded today, will the deficit stay 12? That's the question, Josh.
If they keep their rush lane integrity, they will.
Jay Boyd and Martez Tompkins back to return. Boyd with the earlier return of 65 yards. And here comes Nate Williams. End over end, it's a poocher.
There you go.
Fair catch signal, but we have whistles and a flag.
Is that false start? Probably on the kickoff unit.
You can assume. Who's that going to be on? Looks to be on Trayvon Gibson. We'll have to see what Rick St. George has to say about this. Can only assume false start. Talking with the back judge, Zach Gilbert now. And here's St. George. So that'll back up the Braves just a little bit more. Clock doesn't change, obviously, and the score remains 22-10. That'll push up Martez Tompkins and Boyd about 5 extra yards. They're lined up on their own hashes at their own 10. And Isaac Parks, or Nate Williams rather, she'll reset. Sophomore out of Kannapolis. 20 kickoffs this season, averaging just over 55 yards per. He's only made it into the end zone twice, and now from his own 30 instead of his own 35, I doubt he'll do it again here. We have more whistles.
What's the problem now?
They're moving the ball back up. So he can kick it from the 35?
Well, maybe.
Are they going to apply it to after the return?
Maybe Tusculum declined the penalty.
Declined it?
I don't know why you would decline it.
Exactly. Who declines free yards like that? Maybe at this point, with a 12-point lead, Tusculum could most likely just kneel it into the half.
Maybe they're content just going into halftime with the lead.
Exactly. But with the special teams that they fielded, I see no reason why you wouldn't want to try, but...
Right. Give your return a little more room.
I'm not head coach Jerry Odom, so I don't have much room to talk. Here's Nate Williams. End over end, it's a poocher. Over to the far side, picked up at the 35. Braves look to make the stop, and they do. Returned by Malik Farrell, the normally defensive back. He makes it out to about the 37. Brave defense coming out, and Alex Ogle, Max Joseph, and the Tusculum offense will shuffle out themselves. No Joseph once again. It's going to be Pratt. And yeah, looks like Tusculum will just take it into the half. 6 seconds elapsed on the kickoff, and one knee should do it.
Yeah. Glad they didn't try to take any deep shots. He didn't want to see no lapses in coverage like we did.
Well, we saw that trick PAT. We might see something here. I doubt it, though. Ogle goes down, and that'll take us into halftime. 22-10, the Braves trail. They've trailed in 3 of their 4 halftimes this season. They've come back from one. Let's see if they can come back from another. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with a halftime show coming your way in just a couple of minutes right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath.
He's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I love Toes because she's a lazy diva. Toes does whatever she wants, obviously.
Back on the UNCP Sports Network alongside Josh Reed, I'm your host, Matt Sabatis, and we got about 15 minutes left in this halftime. Braves trail 22-10 against the Tusculum College Pioneers. Each team 1-2, and each team with an opportunity to reset themselves before the heart of their schedule starts to unfold. Let's take a look at the statistics coming from both sides. Maxwell Joseph putting on a clinic just as much as we expected for the Tusculum Pioneers. 11 carries, 42 yards. Only one touchdown, though. He's had a couple of opportunities, but the Braves defense has been surprisingly good. Lorenzo Pratt has been surprisingly good as well. 7 carries for 22 yards. Came in today with only 52 yards on the season. Alex Ogle, 4 carries. A net loss of 9 yards with just 2 sacks from the Braves, but he does have the 1 touchdown just at the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Passing-wise, Ogle is 10 for 13, no interceptions, 119 yards, and 1 passing touchdown to Evan Gates. That was a long 33-yarder, the first touchdown of the game, coming off of that fumble on the 65-yard kickoff return from the Braves. Keandre Banks leading the way, 4 receptions, 38 yards. Evan Gates, 2 receptions, 39 yards. His only other reception being a 6-yard grab, along with his 33-yard touchdown reception. Deshaun Davis has 1 pick for 17 yards, and Gary Bruckelander 1 reception for 11 yards. For the Braves, Dom Sampson, surprisingly the leading rusher. We've been mentioning it, Josh, that he's really starting to find himself as a ground man. You said it multiple times. He's going through his progression as an experienced quarterback should, and when he sees there's not a man open, he finds an open hole.
Yep, you really like seeing that from a quarterback, being real decisive with his going through progression, like I stated, and then just taking off, letting his athleticism take over.
Josh Sheridan, 4 carries, 27 yards, a 19-yard touchdown run that you're going to see on the highlight reels later tonight. Miles Grant, 2 carries for 7 yards. And Connor Stowe coming in went 0 for 1 passing-wise and had 1 carry for 3 yards. Dom Sampson, 6 for 13 through the air, no interceptions, 110 yards. A 44-yard pass, but no touchdowns. That 44-yard pass was to Shaman Hicks, the only reception from him. Quay Threat has 1 reception for 11 yards, while JoJo Grant and E.J. Williams each have 2 receptions. 21 yards from Grant, 34 yards from E.J. Williams. That's something Sampson has been very good at this season, finding multiple receivers, and hopefully that can increase into the second half, Josh.
I really like to see the quarterback spread the ball around so he doesn't, kind of like last year with Pat O'Brien, just, you know it's going to B.J. Bunt most of the time, but you like seeing him spread the ball around, get it to his backs and his tight ends and his receivers.
Defensive-wise, the Braves defense has brought down Alex Ogle twice. Josh Manns leads the way with 7 tackles. Albert Wright has 4 tackles and 1 sack. Chris Plotch has 4 tackles and 1 sack, and Cyrus Steinbach has 4 tackles. On the other side, for Tusculum, Lakeith Brown, Matt Simon, 6 tackles, 4 tackles respectively, and then Malik Goodman and Jay Boyd, each with 3 tackles. The offensive line for the Braves, you got to say it surprisingly, but you got to say it with a bit of happiness in your voice, is that they've yet to allow a sack on Dom Sampson today.
Yeah, you can see this young unit really starting to build some cohesion, and there are some lapses in not coverage, but in pass protection. But for the most part, they're keeping Dom clean, and he, like I say, he's taking it upon himself to take off sometimes.
Game started after the 60-yard kickoff return from JoJo Spann was fumbled in Tusculum territory and recovered by the Pioneers. After a 7-play, 61-yard drive, Alex Ogle found Evan Gates in the end zone on a 33-yard pass to put the Pioneers up first. 2-point conversion made it 8-0. Braves responded with Josh Sheridan in an acrobatic Marshawn Lynch-esque 19-yard run, capping off a 3-play, 76-yard drive to make it 7-8, still in favor of the Pioneers. It was Tusculum for the next 2, a Maxwell Joseph 4-yard run, and an Alex Ogle goal line QB sneak, making it 22-7. Alex Avardo, a new career-high 46-yard field goal in the waning seconds of the first half, leads us to our current 22-10 score. We'll step aside, be right back in just a little bit, but we've got the second half coming your way just a little bit later. Braves and the Pioneers, we've got more to come right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Brave Nation is about to commence. Rewards, event times, and the Brave Nation student section, it all lives here. Download hashtag Brave Nation for free, fill out your full user profile, check in from your Brave Nation section seat, and start redeeming swag. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on important Brave Nation information. Download the app, fill out your profile, be loud in the Brave Nation student section, and get rewarded.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. Your whole world changes in an instant. That's what happened to me the day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
When it comes to saving money,
Boss! What? Parents!
don't act like a baby.
Oh, it's like they're having their own little meeting. This is so humiliating.
Be the boss.
I'm the boss.
What the?
Power nap.
You were saying. And make a budget.
Let's get to work.
Need a little help?
Stacy, read back the notes.
I can't read. What's it say?
Create a personalized savings plan and get other tools and tips.
We can share.
You obviously didn't go to business school.
At feedthepig.org.
Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Back on the UNCP Sports Network, Matt Sabatis here with you. Only about 5 minutes left before we can kick off the second half. Braves offense has their highs and their lows. The offensive line yet to allow a sack on Dom Sampson or Connor Stowe. They haven't been given enough push for the rushing game. Only a pair of rushers with over 20 yards. Dom Sampson with 39 and Josh Sheridan with 27 as the Braves trail 22-10. We'll see how they can bounce back and see if any of the words of wisdom Coach Shane Richardson gave them in the locker room will make an impact. The Braves are a good second half team. We'll see if it transpires when we return. This is the UNCP Sports Network, folks. Stick around.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Back in on the UNCP Sports Network, it's the Braves and the Pioneers for Week 4 of the 2017 season. Braves trail 22-10. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm your host, Matt Sabatis. We thank you for joining us for this evening's game. Now, Josh, it was a rough first half for the Braves. They have had rough first halves of the season, but they are a second-half team. Their third quarter is their best by far. 34 points scored in the third quarter, their best out of all 4. Only 14 points allowed in the third quarter this season, their best out of all 4.
Well, yeah, it's kind of similar narrative how we were playing last season. You know, sometimes faltering in the first half, come back in the second half, making good adjustments and defensive and everything, and make a strong push.
Hopefully things can go well for the Braves. 1-2 on the season. They need a turnaround, but Tusculum will receive the ball to start the second half. Braves won the coin toss, deferred to the second half, and Tusculum elected to kick off to start the game. It was an interesting kickoff as JoJo Span returned it for 60 yards, fumbled it at the Tusculum 40-yard line, and the Pioneers pulled it away. Ended up taking it down 61 yards for a score.
It's like every kick returner's worst nightmare. Not only getting tripped by the kicker, but getting stripped by the kicker.
Absolutely. So out comes Nate Williams to kick it off to start the second half. He has 2 kickoffs already today. The sophomore out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, lining himself up just how he likes it.
I actually had a weight training class with Nate last year. Dude's got a crazy leg power.
Doesn't surprise me. Back to return for the Pioneers, Martez Tompkins and Jay Boyd lined up at their own 5-yard line on either hash. Here comes Williams. Right to left, he boots it. End over end, it's a short one but a long one. Picked up by Tompkins at his own 2. He's got some speed and he's got a blocker, but tripped up at the legs. Crossing over the 25-yard line before he falls down. Game-saving play by Yavel Morris, the defensive back.
I was just about to say, thank God he did get tripped up, or he'd still be running right now.
I think Nate Williams would probably be the only one that had a chance to stop him if that was the case. But Morris made the play. Marking him down at the knee at the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers at that spot. Alex Ogle back out under center with his running back Maxwell Joseph, the strong sophomore, not a senior, out of Naples, Florida.
Looks like a senior.
Yeah, he absolutely does. Under center, Ogle takes it. The give on the near side to Joseph. Fights through one defender, a tucked shoulder, but Josh Manns makes the tackle after about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, with a tough runner like Max Joseph, you really got to have the whole team rallying to the tackle.
Alpha Lamine was the first one to get there. Yeah, and if you can drag Alpha Lamine, then that's scary. Lamine's one of the biggest guys on that defensive line. 6'3", 240 pounds. He's a threat just to look at.
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 5 at the Tusculum 35. Back in the gun now is Ogle alongside Joseph to his left side. Ogle claps. Has it, chest high, 3-step drop as he rolls out to the far side, and he's looking for a slant. Has it to his receiver, Evan Altizer. Altizer should move the chains. He does. 22-10, 14-10 left to go here in the third quarter. Braves trailing in this Week 4 matchup, hoping not to go 1-3 on the season. This Tusculum team has definitely had some struggles as of late. If they can pull off this victory, they'll be at 500. But they have not had a winning season in general in the past 5 years. As this is another give to Joseph on the far side. He fights to, at most the 45, a 3-yard gain. Last time these two teams met was back in 2014, however. One of the better seasons in Tusculum memory. It was their lone winning season, as a matter of fact. The Braves were held to, get this, Josh, 4 passing yards. All game.
Wow.
It was a 20-17 overtime winner for the Pioneers in Tusculum. That's a game the Braves are hoping to forget.
You probably don't have you don't have any holdovers from that team on this squad.
Ogle under center and a whistle.
Maybe Jared Johnson.
We got a timeout from the Pioneers, their first charge of the half. Last week for the Pioneers, we brought it up during the pregame, but another overtime game. Last time these two teams met, it was in overtime. And last week for the Pioneers, an overtime loss at Limestone College, the first game in the South Athletic Conference for the Saints. Pioneers held to only 182 offensive yards, while their defensive men were the star of the show. Matt Simon, the linebacker, has not made much of a presence in today's game, but he was the conference player of the week last week thanks to 2 defensive touchdowns, a fumble recovery and a pick 6.
Thankfully, we haven't heard his name much tonight. I mean, I was really worried about that coming into this game, watching the highlights of Tusculum from last week. I was thinking, I think he's going to be around the ball all night tonight. But
you can clearly tell he's not much of a pass defender by any means, and the Braves' running game has been a little hit or miss. They either get stopped at the line or they break through for a big one. Ogle under center, and it looks like Pratt is back in. No, still Joseph. Faking the handoff and going deep with it. Easily complete.
They bid on the fake.
And that's a touchdown for the Pioneers.
Oh. They got him on a bootleg.
Gary Bruckelander, the touchdown reception. The first of the young freshman's career.
Wow. I mean, that was a perfectly executed play-action bootleg pass to the tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you expect somebody to have some kind of outside container, just have an eye on the quarterback. At least they bet 2. They sold out on the run. Nobody had their eye on the quarterback, and he just rolled out and threw a long bomb to the tight end.
So regular PAT coming from Jose Esperanza. Snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it's off the right upright. No good.
Something good came out of that at least.
Now, before this game started, we don't have footage of it, but one of the Tusculum players heading off of the warm-ups jumped up and hung on that upright, on the goalpost. Tilted it to the right side a little. It had to be reoriented. Now, I'm just a superstitious guy, but maybe reorienting that put it off center a little bit and led to that hitting the upright.
That just might have been the deciding factor in that little thing bumping off the upright.
That's just my paranoia and my love of superstition. 4 plays, 70 yards that drive, a minute and 53 seconds only shaved off the clock. And a 56-yard touchdown pass to Gary Bruckelander from Alex Ogle.
Yeah, it's the last thing you want to see on the opening drive of the second half.
Second touchdown pass this game. Ogle came into today's game with 3. All of them came in the Week 1 game against North Greensville. 34-33, the Pioneers lost that game, coupled with their 30-24 overtime loss last week. Leads to their 1-2 record today. Braves falling in their Week 1 matchup against Winston-Salem State, winning at Elizabeth City in a record-breaking offensive showdown. and then falling last week to Catawba 41-9, as Gabe Schillings is out to kick this one away. Back to return for the Braves, now Joe Leake and JoJo Spann, or rather Joe Leake and Devin Jones. End over end, the kick from left to right. Jones hauls it in 1 yard deep in his own end zone. He's taking it onto the near side with a blocker in Leake. He tries to find a hole, but a good tackle on the play from Leon Cunningham, the linebacker, to stop it before he can get back to the 25.
Yeah, I thought he had a land on that one. He got stoned by the defender.
So out comes the Braves offense once again. Dom Sampson, after sitting out for a drive in the second quarter for Connor Stowe, he will man the offense again. Josh Sheridan will be his running back. Braves have been held to under 250 yards of total offense in multiple games this season. The Catawba game, the Winston-Salem game, they only have 186 yards throughout this one as Sampson looks to pass and finds E.J. Williams on a quick hook for 6 yards. That'll make it second down. The Braves, in their last 3 years combined, they only had 4 such games of not gaining 250 total offensive yards. Including the 2 this year, the Braves are 1-5 in those games.
Well, yeah, with this young offensive line and much unproven playmakers, you really kind of have to wait for things to break out.
Here's Dom. On the near side, Sheridan wrapped in the backfield, and he's brought down. Devin Woodson, the sophomore backup, nose guard out of Central South Carolina with the play. It's 3rd and about 8 now. First tackle for loss in Woodson's career. 12 minutes left to go here in a 28-10 game, Braves trailing. E.J. Williams, Joe Leake, and JoJo Spann, the wide receivers. Sampson with a flag flying, overthrowing Spann. Which way is this one going to go? We'll have to see what Rick St. George has to say after conferring with his officiating crew.
I'll start.
Holding on the offense. Pioneers will obviously decline, bring up 4th down for the Braves, and it'll force Isaac Parks to come out and boot it away.
Yeah, Dom's had a lot of struggles throwing outside of the numbers in this game and really all season. I really want to see him do some more inside the numbers, quick striking passing game here in the second half.
And we also mentioned it some during the first half, was just the lack of deep passes that Dom's really been going with. Parks to kick it away. The returner, Evan Altizer, is looking to the sideline a little confused and a little rushed, but he's able to haul it in at his own 46-yard line, and trying to make a play, he picks up a few extra before he's brought down by the Braves. James Martin, the defensive back, making the stop. It'll be a gain of about 6 on the return, and it looks like the Pioneers will start in Braves territory for this drive. You said it in the first half, Josh. This has been a short field game for the Pioneers.
But you don't have that far to go. You can either settle for a field goal or punch it in.
Braves offense has only been on the field for 11, or rather make it 13 minutes after that drive ending this game. The defense has been on the field for 20 and a half minutes. This one a give to Pratt on the far side, slips a hole, and Mans makes the tackle after about a 6-yard gain across the far hash. Make it 2nd and about 4 in this 28-10 game. 11:18 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
You don't want to see that here in the second half. The defense starting to get tired and they start taking away chunk plays on the run game.
Ogle with Pratt once again, and another give to him. Going a little further east to west. He's shoved out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain once again. Looks to be that play was made by T.Y. Hinton, the defensive end. Did they give him the first down? No. Oh, wow, he went out of bounds way earlier than it seemed. Only about a 1-yard gain. Make it 3rd and 3, just under 11 to go in this 3rd quarter. Braves trail by 18. Could use a defensive stop here. The career long for Isaac Gallegos, if they bring him in to attempt the field goal, would be 38 yards.
Or defensive turnover. That would swing the
That'd be a better turn, but last time we thought there was a defensive turnover, we were sorely mistaken, Josh. So, timeout from Tusculum. Before we get back, a word from our sponsors, folks. Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation belongs to the members it serves. That means their members have a say in how their co-op is run, and with its members in charge, you can feel confident that the decisions are made in your best interest and the best interest of your community. Doesn't that sound good? Members know they can trust LREMC because it was created not to make profits, but to deliver on this promise, providing safe, reliable, and affordable electricity. 4 values are the foundation of Lumbee River EMC's service to its members: innovation, commitment to community, accountability, and integrity. These values represent the cooperative difference in how their co-op earns the trust of members every day. That's Lumbee River Electric Membership Corporation, a proud sponsor of UNCP Athletics. Resetting now, 3rd and 3 for the Tusculum Pioneers on the Braves' 42-yard line. A defensive stop would be just dandy. 4-man front incoming from the Braves. Alex Ogle under center, with Pratt, his running back, 5 yards deep. Bruckelander, the tight end on the far side, split receivers. Bruckelander goes into motion. Dropping back to pass and looking for the sidelines, and the hook just did not come to pass. Rodnell Cruel, the junior out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Didn't know where that ball was.
Didn't even have his head turned around.
Cruel, an interesting story as the punting team comes out. 3 receptions this year, 46-yard. Played against Leonard Fournette, the Jacksonville Jaguar, back in high school in New Orleans.
That guy's a beast. My Ravens take him on tomorrow at 9 o'clock over there in London. That guy's a load. He was the #1 player coming out of high school when I was in high school.
Big fan of Fournette, I am, that's for sure. And it looks like they're going for it on 4th down after Cantrell runs up to line up as a wide receiver. No, they just brought the Braves to fake him out. Play clock winding down, and the Pioneers are going to burn their last timeout. With 10:34 left in the 3rd quarter, the Pioneers are out of timeouts. That is their 3rd, right? I believe they've used 3.
Maybe they might have 1 more left.
They took the delay of game. You can still throw the flag. Man, these refs, man. As a broadcaster, it's frustrating. Here's the punt. Span's going to let it fly over his head, and it bounces into the end zone. Good attempt at the stop from D. Alford, but the Pioneers just weren't able to get it done. Smart play to take the delay of game on that. I'll give the credit where it's due, as Hunter Cantrell wanted to try and pin the Braves inside their own 40.
Almost worked.
Almost worked. So out comes Dom Sampson.
The gun runner play almost had it right at the goal line, but he was just here too late.
So they're swapping where the ball is on the 20-yard line after the touchback. First touchback this season for Cantrell, only the 13th of his 4-year starting career as a Pioneer. Empty backfield for Sampson, or no. He had Josh Sheridan hidden behind him there. Couldn't see him from my angle. Sheridan met at the line of scrimmage and ripped down. That's a good tackle from number 99, Quahim Glasgow, the sophomore out of Newberry, South Carolina. .05 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Braves after the 2-yard gain from Sheridan. And he swapped out for Miles Grant now. (28-10), Braves trail. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near with the tight end Isaiah Eller. Sampson to pass. Looking to the near side, scoops under on a screen to Miles Grant. With a block from E.J. Williams, he slips by a defender, still on his feet, just across the 25 before he's finally taken down. Call it a gain of about 4, make it 3rd and 4.
It's always nice to see receivers blocking downfield. It would have been a gain of none had E.J. not been there with that seal block.
Braves another chance here. They need to convert on this 3rd down. They're only 2 for 7 this game, 25% this season. 3rd and 3 with just over 9 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sampson in the gun with Grant to his right side. Twins on either side receiving wise. Could be an offsides. It is a free play to Span. No. That'll give the Braves the 1st down at least, so it'll move the chains, making it 1st and 10 at the 22. Penalties have been getting to the Tusculum Pioneers this game. That's their 7th for now 60 yards with still 9 minutes left to go in the third quarter alone. So here's Sampson again on this 1st and 10 from his own 22. The give to Grant on the near side with the sweep. He slips through the defender and just barely escapes. Well, he's finally brought down. Tackle made by Ivan Hogans, the redshirt freshman linebacker. Leads the team in sacks and tackles for loss. Out of Stockbridge, Georgia. Should be enough for a first, though. They move the chains. To the 43-yard line we go. 28-10, Braves still trail. 8.5 left to go in this third quarter.
That was actually a really good run by Miles Grant on that play. He went lateral as long as he could, and then he got north and south and cut up.
They've got him in again in the shotgun, and they give it to him again, but he's got a little bit of pushback from the defensive line. They meet him in the backfield as there's a flag, potentially a hold from the offensive line as Grant scrambles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Javon Green, the sophomore out of Savannah, with the tackle for Tusculum. You can only assume that that penalty is a holding.
Well, the coaches are clapping on the UNCP side, so it might be a face mask.
Oh, face mask.
There we go.
So that was before anyone even got a hand on Miles. Braves will freely take that penalty and make it a first down. 2 free sets of downs for the Braves this drive. They still trail by 18, but it pushes them into Tusculum territory. 8th penalty tonight for the Pioneers, and the Braves could really capitalize on this. Sampson to pass, looking to Joe Leak on the far side. He has it a little bit low, but Leak has blockers. Lowers the shoulder and fights to get the first. Does he have it? Does he have it? He does.
It was actually a really creative play call on that play. If you saw, it was a double screen. The quarterback had an option to either throw it to the right or to the left because the lineman, left tackle, and the right tackle pulled on the far side of the field.
Oh, they're going quick with it, faking the give to Leak, finding E.J. Williams with blockers. The linebacker tried to get there in time, and Williams was able to fight for about 3 yards. That one even caught me off guard. Tackle made on the play by Gary Brook, or rather, Richard Gervale, the defensive end. Gervale, an interesting name too, a freshman named Widchard. They tried the same play to the opposite side, and E.J. Williams is immediately snuffed out. Yeah, Tusculum defense was a little more prepared for that one. Quadre Allen with the stop. Attributing on that one was D. Alford, the cornerback.
Yeah, sometimes when you tempo up, you got your defense off guard. Sometimes you got your own self off guard.
And I think the Braves will try and take a little time on this one now. Shaman Hicks cycling in and taking out Tyzea Ella. Hicks lined up as a slot on the far side. Joe Leak, the running back, on this 3rd and 9 play with 31 yards left to go until the end zone. Sampson under pressure, skips it to E.J. Williams. He's grabbed at the shoulder and brought down after about a 5-yard gain. Tackle on the play by Josh Forrest, the sophomore out of Lawrenceville.
Going for it.
This is a tough location for the Braves. It'll be 4th and about 5 at their own 28-yard line. Make it 27. And they're going for it. 35-yard field goal isn't out of the question for Alex Avardo. Hit a 46-yarder earlier.
Barely.
Sampson's trying. 3-step drop back, looking to the right. Intercepted. It was intended for Spann, and Spann can't make the tackle. Across midfield, it's D. Alford. His 2nd of the year. He's brought down at the 44.
He stared down the receiver on that play, and it was easy for defensive back to just come under that and just pick it off.
He looks hurt. Nope. Fighting for the ball. Pushing and shoving going on now. That's between Alford and your buddy there, Dylan Best, the left tackle, with the tackle.
Well, that was a heads-up play by Dylan, though. You saw him try to strip the ball out when he caught the defender on the almost pick 6.
4th interception of the year for Sampson.
But you can't do that, though. You can't. You got to play situational football sometimes, You can't just stare down one receiver on one side of the field.
And it's Ogle with Joseph once again. 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. At the Braves, 43. Under center is Ogle, and the give is to Joseph. On the far side, he fights through 3 defenders before he's finally brought down a 6-yard gain across the numbers. Tackle on the play by Bekembe Kearney, the free safety out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and the Braves defense not getting much of a breather.
This is the time of the game where you see your defensive linemen start dry heaving, and the offensive line on the other side is still fresh, and they're going to start plugging away in this run game.
5:47 left to go here in this third quarter. Braves trail by 18. A pair of men in motion as they back up into the shotgun now. Ogle with Joseph to his right side. Now he steps back up and instructs his line. Goes back under center. A few changes to try and throw the defense off guard. Joseph flies ahead, but a flag comes in. Could be holding on the offensive line as Joseph had a clear opening on that far side before he was brought down by Josh Mayans and Bekembe Kearney.
They tried to confuse the defense on that play, but overloading the right side and then running it to the left.
See what Rick St. George has to say. It is holding. So the Braves will take it, make it 2nd and 9 now. As they're waiting for the official to move the ball. Or rather, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 14. Gotta remember my penalties there. 28-10, Braves trail. 5:17 left to go here in the third quarter. Ogle under center with Joseph 5 yards deep. 4-man front incoming from the Braves. From left to right, the Pioneers go. Ogle has it, 3-step drop and a quick sling to the far side. It's complete to his receiver, Altizer. Altizer pops up on a 10-yard gain, and that'll bring up 3rd down. .445 left to go here in this third quarter.
The time of the game, we need somebody to step up and make a play on defense.
In the shotgun with Joseph to his right. Ogle claps, has it, chest high, 3-step drop, looking up center, has an opening, instead goes downfield with it, and okay. Javis Williams had no clue what was happening there.
Luckily that pass over was off the mark because the defensive line on that play just completely over pursued. They just ran right past the quarterback.
Well, now this is the question. You could try for it, but they're going to bring out Hunter Cantrell.
Why risk it?
Absolutely.
By 18 points.
Do they try for the delay of game again as the Braves bring in 2 returners? JoJo Spann and Devin Jones lined up at their own 10. Cantrell will try it. It's a short one. Where will it bounce first? At the Braves 9, and the Pioneers barely dive on it at the 1-yard line. Beautiful save for the Pioneers from Leon Cunningham. Had a tackle on the last kick return. And is able to stop the ball from rolling into the end zone for another touchback. Braves will have to move the length of the field.
Oh, that's good special teams right there.
4:14 left to go in this third quarter. Braves trail by 18, but they're not out of this game yet. Dom Sampson coming in. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 1-yard line. Braves are getting up there, yards-wise, 221 on the day as compared to the Pioneers, only 253. But as you've said, Josh, it's been a game of short field position for the Pioneers and a false start, potentially coming in from UNCP.
Tight end 44.
That's going to be on Tyzea Eller. 2nd penalty he's been attributed to tonight.
Hopefully see some kind of quick pass real quick here. I'd hate to see it get pushed back for a safety on a run play or a sack.
Braves settle back in as they get backed up half a yard, as just about as far as they can go. They give on the far side to Joe Leake, and he makes about as much work as he can before D. Alford drags him down. Give it a gain of about 4. Make it 2nd and 6. 4 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. In the shotgun with Leake, Sampson claps, has it, chest high, the give to Leake. Up the gut, has about 3 yards. The pile pushes him backwards, though. And they'll stop him with forward momentum just before the 10-yard line. 3:30 left on the clock. Braves cycling through a few receivers. They bring in Shaman Hicks and E.J. Williams, taking out Isaiah Eller and Jalen Nixon. 3rd down, 4 to go. Braves only on their own 7-yard line, and going 3 and out this far into your own territory is not good.
They got a new left tackle out there, too, in Tate Vereen.
Sampson in the gun, claps, and we've got more flags.
Tate Vereen on a false start.
Vereen, normally a defensive lineman, at least that's how he's listed on the roster.
You're sending Dillon back out there at left tackle.
And they immediately swap him out after one play and costing the offense 5 yards. 3 minutes left to go in this 3rd quarter. Braves trail by 18. They could use a pretty big momentum boost. Now a penalty on Tusculum. Gives the Braves the 1st down. There's your momentum boost.
Unsportsmanlike, probably.
Looks like after the fact, they weren't giving them unsportsmanlike. They conferred, and it was encroachment on the defense. So here's a give on the far side to Miles Grant. He tries to go on a sweep with it, but can't get too far past the sideline. Make it a gain of about 2 to bring up 2nd down. Clock continues to run. Braves aren't really too mindful of it. They don't need to be at this point, only in the 3rd quarter, but they still trail by 18. And after being blessed another 1st down from penalty, that's the 3rd one tonight, they could really make it count. 3 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. Miles Grant, the running back. As Sampson looks to pass. Can't find Shaman Hicks as he bobbles it off the hands. Hicks, normally a fantastic receiver, one of the leading on this team with 8 receptions, behind E.J. Williams' 10. 65 yards, yet to pick up a touchdown, but the true freshman out of Raleigh, North Carolina, could use a boost himself today.
He showed some flashes in the 1st half on that longest reception of the game so far.
44 yards, but his only reception tonight. 3rd and 7. Triplets on the near side as Sampson looks that way. Plenty of time in the pocket, but it collapses. He's brought down by a pair of Pioneers. Josh Forrest, his 1st full sack of the year. Braves were gifted a 1st down thanks to a penalty on Tusculum, but sack from the Pioneers backs them back into their own 10-yard line, and Isaac Parks will have short work to get this one away.
He actually had Hicks streaking down the field on that one in the seam route, but pocket collapsed and it was too late.
Evan Altizer back to return. He's in Braves territory on this one.
Another short field coming up.
Pioneers don't make an attempt as Parks gets it away, and it's received at the 42 with blockers. Altizer falls into his own man and gets brought down. And his player looks hurt. He's limping. Altizer ran into Richard Gerville. And Gerville is not being helped off the field per se, but is taking his helmet off. You see him at the top of your screen there, talking with the athletic trainer. He might be a little frustrated with Evan Altizer after that play.
And Cameron Williams for the Braves seems to be injured, number 43 on the sideline. It's an arm injury, might be a bicep, the way he's holding it.
Minute 14 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Alex Ogle and the Pioneers offense out once again. Maxwell Joseph 5 yards deep as the running back. Under center is Ogle with Bruckelander, the tight end, on the far side. Ogle takes it. Low snap, but gets it to Joseph all the way. About a 5-yard carry. The pile gets pushed a little, but the defensive line is able to re-wrap and make the play. Yavel Morris and Nathan London working together on that stop.
It's too many yards on first down. Like I stated earlier, it's the time of the game where the offense tries to salt the game away. The offense with the lead, that is.
Braves offense has been getting a little more time on the field. It's still only about 20 minutes compared to the near 24 now that the Pioneers have been on the field.
You got to capitalize on your possessions when you get down on the opponent's side of the field.
Ogle again on this 2nd and 4. Has it with a 5-step drop back. Looking up the middle. He's hit as he throws. That's a live ball. No. Rick St. George signaled it as incomplete as soon as it came out of the hand, so there won't be much of an argument on that one. Alpha Lamine had it. Well, that's an incomplete pass any way you cut it. Good, concise officiating from the crew. And that'll bring up 3rd and 3 for the Pioneers. This is territory where they've gone for it before, especially with an 18-point lead. And with how dominant their offense has been. Braves have only scored 3 points in their last 2 quarters. Under center is Ogle, a 4-man front incoming. The linebackers step up as well. Braves look to bring the house. Give us to Joseph on the far side, and they meet him at the line of scrimmage. The powerful Joseph fights through towards the line. Will he move the chains?
The ref's signal 4th down.
That's what they're going to say.
Going back to that 2nd down play, that was great pressure by Tyler Hendon. He really showed great bend around the edge getting to the quarterback, even though he didn't force the fumble.
Looks like we're probably just going to have to wait to see how this drive ends up on the other side of the field and after a short time out. 28-10 Braves trail. We've got 15 minutes of football left. We'll see if the Braves can pull it off. We'll be right back in just a few seconds right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Grace P. Johnson Stadium and a beautiful night for Braves football, but Braves offense, and their defense for that matter, could use a little bit of a boost. 28-10 they trail against the Tusculum Pioneers. Alex Ogle under center, looking to punch one in once again. 4th down conversion attempt coming up. Given the near side to Joseph, met at the line of scrimmage, and he powers through. Did he get it? Looks to be he did. Tackle on the play by Colton Weeks. He was the first to meet him at least, and the Pioneers move the chains once again. They are now 3 for 3 on their 4th down conversions. Prior to this game, Braves defense had not allowed one in 4 attempts. Alongside Josh Reed, I'm Matt Sabatis. We thank you for joining us this evening, and hopefully you can bring us some good luck and maybe a Braves victory, but they trail by 18, and the Pioneers are threatening to increase. 1st and 10 at the Braves 15. Ogle under center. The give on the far side to Joseph. Finds a hole in the offensive line, but the defensive line is there to cover things up. T.Y. Hinton got in on the waist and was able to make a stop after only about a 3-yard gain. Falling forward, make it 5. (28-10). We're only a minute past here in the 4th quarter, but Josh, there needs to be a turnaround fast.
Needs to be a turnover fast. Can't let them put any more points on the board. Increase that deficit.
Not much as well. The Braves have fumbled the ball twice, and they've lost it both times. An interception thrown by Dom Sampson, 3 turnovers forced by the Pioneers defense. Braves have not had one. As Ogle looks, and just as I brought it up, nearly picked off for Bakembe Kearney. Not Bakembe. Yavel Morris. No.
He had nothing but green pastures going the other way. That would have been such a turning of the tides in this game.
I brought it up. On this 3rd and 5 play, the Braves cycling through a hefty portion of their defense. as they bring out the meat of their defensive line. Tajay Lyles, T.Y. Hinton, and Alpha Lamine out on the field now. Under center with Joseph the back. Ogle sets. Has it. 5-step drop to the right side. Batted away. Brukelander, the intended receiver. Coverage on the play for the Braves. That's James Martin, the sophomore out of Charlotte.
I'm still that
You're
dropped
you're still recovering.
That hurt my soul.
Yeah. I know that feeling sometimes. So the first field goal attempt incoming. It's still Jose Esperanza. No Isaac Gallegos. Maybe his character was a little shaken after that blocked overtime attempt against Limestone. This will be the first attempt this season from Esperanza, as they've forgotten an offensive lineman. The snapper is Ian Grady. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Tack on 3 for Tusculum to make up for that missed extra point on their last touchdown drive. 31-10, Braves trail. And a 27-yard field goal from Jose Esperanza. 8 plays, 16 yards, and like we've said it, Josh, short time on the field for the Tusculum offense and short field for them to really work with. They've just been finding ways to score.
I mean, that's really been the play of the game. Like, yeah, their offense has put up the points, but their special teams unit have put them in a position to put up these points.
Folks, a word from our sponsor. Ever wonder why Lumberton Chevy, Buick, Cadillac, GMC has such a long name? One reason is the tremendous variety of cars and trucks they offer to meet every need. Great-looking Chevrolets, Buicks, Cadillacs, and even GMC SUVs and trucks. They have everything from budget vehicles to top-of-the-line Cadillacs. So why would you shop anywhere else? Try their quick lube, and while your vehicle is being serviced, you can see for yourself. They're located next to Lumberton High School. That's Lumberton Chevy, Buick, Cadillac, a GMC, proud sponsor of UNCP Athletics. Devin Jones and Joe Leake back to return for the Braves, lined up at their respective hash marks on the 5-yard line. While Gabe Schillings is in to boot it away, has the ball set on the near hash going from right to left of the 35. Tusculum in their white road jerseys, black sleeves with an orange stripe. Orange numbers, Tusculum across the top of the number, white pants, white helmet with the Pioneer logo. New logo this year on the right side. End over end, it's a long and trailing boot picked up by Leake. 1 foot deep into his own end zone, so he has to take it out. Going across the way to the other side with blockers, he scrambles to the 25 to make it a successful return. Finally brought down on the play by Ivan Hogans, the normally linebacker for the Tusculum Pioneers. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves at their own 24.
Yeah, they're going to have to score quick, fast, and in a hurry. Time's wasting away.
It'll be Dom Sampson and Josh Sheridan. And the Braves will have 13 minutes and 31 seconds to try and put up a trio of scores. In the gun is Sampson. He's got Eller to his left side, Sheridan to his back. 2 receivers on the near, 1 on the far, a 4-man front incoming from Tusculum. The give to Sheridan, and the line of scrimmage is where he's going to stop.
I'm not saying they should abandon the run game, but don't be so predictable in it. When you line up like that, the defense is going to load the box, and 9 times out of 10, they figure you're going to run it.
Quahim Glasgow, the 6'1 sophomore out of Newberry, with the tackle for Tusculum. It's 2nd and 10. One of the few times this game, there's a bit of silver lining that the rushing game of Josh Sheridan has been held to less than a yard. Shotgun formation. Sheridan to the left of Sampson. 3 receivers on the near side as Sampson looks that way to pass. Has it up the middle for E.J. Williams, and a great cut back. Gets the Braves the first down. There's a flag deep in the backfield. Could be roughing the passer as Sampson just stands up now.
The way he's pointing downfield, he knows roughing the passer.
And there you go.
Tack on 15 more.
It's been the saving grace for the Braves today, but they have not been able to capitalize on the free yardage. That'll be 105 penalty yards that Tusculum has surrendered to the Braves, while UNCP has only allowed 25 in that same category. Dom Sampson relaying a play call after the fact. It's 1st and 10 for the Braves in Pioneers territory at their own 48. Sampson, a slow drop back, 3 steps in the gun as he's looking downfield. Williams again as a flag comes in. At the 35-yard line, Williams is dragged down. Which way is this going to go? Braves had it go in their favor last play, but at the line of scrimmage, this one might not. That's on the redshirt freshman, the new starter, left tackle Dylan Best, 6'1", 275 yards, and that eliminates a first down and basically eliminates the roughing the passer penalty from just a play ago.
Even though the play was negated, if you can see what I was talking about earlier, the middle of the field is, I wouldn't say it's wide open, but you can tell.
I can agree to that one.
Yeah.
Wide open seems to be a fair assessment.
That's what Tulsa's most vulnerable right now. They need to take advantage of that.
12-12 left to go here in this ball game. Braves trail by 21.
Especially those seam routes. They're killing them on that, especially with DJ Williams.
Here's Sampson. Scanning, near side toss. Underthrown of E.J. Williams and probably out of his reach anyway. That'll make it 2nd and 20 after that penalty. Braves backed up from the Pioneers' 48, where the initial line of scrimmage was, to their own 42. And all the Pioneers' defense needs to do at this point is just apply pressure to the pocket, and it seems to be that they'll get the job done if that's all they can do.
If history dictates, yeah.
Sampson with Sheridan. Or rather, it's Leak. Delayed handoff to Leak, and he can only get back to the line of scrimmage after attempting a scramble. Tackle on the play made by the Pioneers, number 44. That's Javon Green, the linebacker.
Like I said, I don't know about abandoning the run, but you got to look at the time right now and look at what the other team's most vulnerable at, and they're really susceptible to passes and deep, especially the seam routes and the deep crosses over the middle of the field is where they're making their most money right now today.
Well, the Braves might need to go into a zone defense with this passing play incoming, or you can only hope on a 3rd and 18. As Sampson fakes the handoff and he's looking to the left side. Slings it hard to Williams, but Williams only gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Sheds the defender slightly, but gets shoved out of bounds. Not much you can say about that play, as the Braves will most likely be forced to punt this one away. Tackled by Richard Gervais, the defensive end, after escaping the first penalty. And the Braves, at this point in the game, are probably going to have to go for it. That's what they're staying out there for.
Why not?
It'll be Sampson with Joe Leak. JoJo Span on the near side alongside Quay Thread. E.J. Williams is on the far side.
Look for E.J. to attack the middle of the field on this play.
Could have one-on-one potentially, E.J. And a false start as the offensive line set into their pass rush early.
The whole left side just moved.
Just as I had said earlier, the 105 yards that the Pioneers had gifted to the Braves were not materializing. The Braves have since given up 15 yards of their own.
At the worst possible time.
Make it 4th and 12 now. Sampson with time in the pocket. He pumps. He's hit. He escapes. He's taking it himself. He has some space. He dives. He didn't get it. He's a yard shy.
A yard short, yeah.
That was the best the man could have done with the limited number of tools he had, and it just wasn't enough.
If it wasn't for that false start, he would have got it.
It's a turnover on downs, and Alex Ogle will return out. It was a 6-play, 30-yard drive for the Braves, or 36-yard drive to be precise. And the penalty giveth, the penalty taketh away. 31-10 Braves trail, and with 10:21, you can assume the ball will stay on the ground when it's in the hands of the Pioneers. They've got Pratt in at running back. He's the speedy one. Well, you compare him to Joseph, the strong one. Brukelander, the tight end, in motion. Ogle, the give off to the far side. Pratt finds some room. Carries ahead for 4. Make it 6 with the fall.
This is a great jump cut by Pratt on that play, cutting it back inside.
Pratt is picking up yardage in spades. Came into today's game with only 13 total carries. That was his 10th carry for 30 yards in today's matchup. Longest rush on the team with 11. Make it 2nd and 5 on this one with just under 10 to go. Ogle with Bruckelander and Pratt to his backside. They give to Pratt. An opening, but no. Cyrus Stonback the tackle for UNCP, make it a gain of 3. Or rather 2, and make it 3rd and 3. This will be an interesting set of games upcoming for Tusculum. Should they walk away victorious here, they face off against Lenore-Rhine next week. But out of the 20 times Tusculum Pioneers and Lenore-Rhine have met, they're 10-10 all time. But Tusculum has lost the last 5. As I've said, there have not been a recently historically quality team. High snap for Ogle, but he rolls back and he's looking deep with it. Almost threw it away on that one. Interesting play call as he intended to find Connor Johnston, one of the backup fullbacks. Doesn't have a reception, doesn't have a carry, but it looks like they were just trying to throw the UNCP defense there.
Well, it was good. It was a good play by Albert Wright, the outside linebacker, applying the pressure for the throwaway, just saving time and forcing a 4th down.
Kentrell in to punt it away. JoJo Span back to return, lined up at his own 15. Kentrell gets it away just in time as the Braves swarm. Span fair catches.
Someone ran into the kicker.
Flag in the backfield, and bound to happen sometimes if you swarm to that degree. Braves coaching box is not very happy. Since I mentioned the penalties in general.
Yep, defense is heading back out there.
Since I've mentioned the penalties in general, the Braves have now committed 4 for 30 yards.
Sometimes it's not about the yards, it's about the most inopportune time for committing those penalties.
Gifting the Pioneers a 1st down and moving them into Braves territory. After already being on the field for nearly half this game, and with 8:47 left to go in the 4th quarter, the defense has to get back out there. Pratt, the running back, once again. Ogle under center. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far. A 4-man front incoming from the Braves. Low snap. Ogle has it. Gives to Pratt on the near side. A man breaks through. That's Bekembe Kearney, but Pratt escapes it and flies out to the near side across the 40-yard line for a gain of 9, maybe 10. Let's see if it moves the chains. It will.
Yeah, this is the time of the game where the opposing running game just tries to salt the game away. Less than 10 minutes to go.
Braves have had chances this game, that much is for sure.
They've been capitalizing on either side of the ball, really.
They've been gifted 3 different 1st downs off of penalties, but they've only scored 1 touchdown. Ogle to Pratt on the far side. He takes it across the tackle, and a hard hit from T.Y. Hinton after a gain of 4. Braves might have to start looking ahead to next week's matchup when they hit the road for Newberry. That series is tied 2-2, but Newberry has won the last 2. That game's going to start at 4 o'clock, and it might be a little refreshing, as much as you want to say it, for the Braves to get away from Grace P. Johnson. They've yet to win a game here this season. Their lone win was on the road against Elizabeth City. 2nd and 5 with 7:40 left to go in this matchup. Ogle with Pratt 5 yards behind him. Ogle to the far side, pumps once, and tipped out of the hands of the intended receiver, that time by Bekembe Kearney. Looking for Connor Johnston once again, the fullback. He's been lining up as a slot on a couple of these plays. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. Swapping through a few defensive men. Bringing in Tajay Lyles, the junior out of Charlotte, and Cyrus Stonback heads to the bench in favor of Donovan Wirt. Wirt, the redshirt freshman, an excellent day at Elizabeth City. 4 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a sack. Ogle in the shotgun. Claps, has it. 3-step drop, looking to the near side. Pumps, goes as the pocket collapses, and well overthrown of Evan Gates. Gates, an interesting story. The senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, played 3 years for this Pioneers team as a linebacker had 40 career tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a fumble recovery. Decided this year, his senior year, to just make the transition, become a wide receiver. One of the leading team's wide receivers in terms of overall receptions and just overall yardage.
Hey, if you got the hands to get the job done, why not?
He was a two-way player in general, not just a receiver in high school. As a senior, 68 receptions and just under 1,000 yards. So it's not a doubt that he had the talent. On 4th down here, the Pioneers are going for it. Ogle met in the backfield. Braves defense swallowing him, throwing him back past the 45. That's something to be happy about for Braves fans. Trayvon Gibson, no. James Martin, the sophomore cornerback out of Charlotte, North Carolina, getting in on the sack. That's his first of the year.
Yeah, and the Brave defense has been bringing corner blitzes all day off the edge. Finally got home. I fear it's a little too late.
They're going to say forward momentum at the 40-yard line when they finally brought him down at the 45. But it'll be 1st and 10 for the Braves there, 10 yards shy of midfield. 7-12 left to go in this one, and if the Braves can overcome this 3-touchdown deficit, they'll need a bit of a miracle. Dom Sampson still in as your QB. 2 receivers on either side as Sampson looks to pass. An extra blocker as he goes deep. Caught by E.J. Williams across midfield to the 42-yard line. Steps out of bounds under some mild pressure, but nothing too serious from Malik Goodman.
Those deep crosses I was just talking about. They're really taking it to him. EJ and Dom have a really good connection going on today.
Williams has been the go-to receiver for today's game. That's his 8th reception. Make it 9th now for just over 75 yards. Here's Sampson again. They bring the rush. He has a little bit of time, and he's going for Williams. No, Quay threat, and it's intercepted over the shoulder by Martez Tompkins. 2nd of the year, but a flag in the backfield.
Might have been encroachment or roughing the passer.
They're looking to the line judge for this one, Joe Sadowski.
I think it might have been encroachment because when they were bringing the blitz, I think one of the defenders got across early.
Looked like one of the linebackers, maybe Ivan Hoggins, may have made a touch.
Oh, it was on us?
It's going to be holding on the Braves.
Oh, wow.
So the interception for Tompkins stands, his 2nd of the year. The 3-year starter out of Atlanta, Georgia, potentially putting the game away with that one catch. 5th interception in 2 games for Dom Sampson. 4th turnover today for the Braves, and their offense could use some stability. 6:44 left to go in this ball game. Braves trail by 21. Alex Ogle out once again. Looks to be with a new running back this time. Defensive line looking a little confused as the chains were not set. They're finished now, and the Pioneers are set to go. Brukel to the tight end on the far side. One lone receiver as Ogle backs up and hands it off to his running back. That is, as a matter of fact, Max Joseph. So they're going to bring the big guy in, but he can't pick anything up on that play. Make it 2nd and 10 as the clock continues. Braves with all 3 of their timeouts. Pioneers with only 1. Now they bring in Jordan Shippey, the sophomore out of Gaffney, South Carolina. No carries for him as a running back. Brukel to the tight end on the near side. Ogle under center, 4-man front coming from the Braves. Ogle claps, blitz showing, gives to Shippey on the far side. Finds a hole, nearly face mask, but the Braves are able to pull him down. Getting in on that tackle for UNCP, James Martin and Colton Weeks, the cornerback and the linebacker respectively, and looks to be Tajay Lyles, or rather Donovan Wirt was a little slow getting up on that one. They bring James Martin off, and they bring on a new cornerback, or rather that's Jordan Howard, the linebacker.
Yeah, at this point, if I was a Braves defense, I mean, you're more playing for pride than you are trying to get back into this game that's pretty far gone.
Braves defense has still spent 3 more minutes on the field than the offense has. I can only imagine that they've been a little winded to this point. Give to Shippey on the far side, met in the backfield, and Braves drag him down He fights ahead for maybe a gain of 1 at most. Give that tackle to Donovan Wirt, and the Braves will cycle through for the punting squad. Out goes JoJo Spann just across midfield. He'll stand at the edge of the Brave head. Cantrell 3 yards deep into his own end zone to attempt to boot this one away. As JoJo Spann takes a few steps up on the far hash, he's now in Pioneers territory. 4:30 left to go in this ball game. This could be some of the best field position the Braves have started with all night, as long as there isn't a roughing running into the kicker penalty. Spann bobbles the ball, and there's a pile for it. We've got whistles on the Braves' 48-yard line. Pioneers are saying it's theirs, and so does the back judge, Zach Gilbert. Pioneers ball.
Muffed the punt. I don't know what it could have been. There's no sun out. I don't know how you take your eyes off the ball.
I think at this point the Braves might be getting just a little bit winded. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers after moving up on the punt.
It's got to be absolutely debilitating for that defense, though. You just got off the field and what? Got to go right back there?
From their own 4-yard line to the Braves' 46. Ogle under center. Low snap. He gives it on the near side to Shippey, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. Slides through and finally gets dragged down. That time
tripped up by a linebacker.
By the Braves linebacker, Colton Weeks. So it'll be 2nd and 8. Clock continues to move. We're at the 4-minute mark now here in this final quarter of play. At this point, Braves will look to turn things around when they hit the road next week for Newberry. A 3-game road trip for the Braves, including a bye week. So it'll be some time before they see the field here at Grace B. Johnson Stadium again. Ogle to Shippey, trying to find a hole in the offensive line. Could have had an opening if he cut back across the center, but can only pick up about 2 yards on that play. Tackle made by Alpha Lamine and Bakembe Kearney.
Yeah, he cut it back inside. If he would have cut it out, he would have probably still been running.
3rd and 5 now. Clock continues to run, nearly a minute lost on that play alone. Shippey in the backfield. And it's now Hunter Wisemore, or no, still Alex Ogle under center. Ogle, 3-step drop and a quick sling out to the far side. It's complete to his wide receiver, Shamar Bridges, the redshirt freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida. Good enough to move the chains on a gain of 6. It'll be 1st and 10. Clock continues to roll with just under 3 minutes left. Another set of downs, and the Pioneers can potentially knee this one away.
You see a lot of hands on your hips out there, and the UNCP defense is ready to go home at this point.
A lot of helmets off on the sidelines and a lot of bent backs. Ogle fakes the handoff, looks under center, and pressure collapses on him. Tries to shoulder through Chris Plotch, and he and Colton Weeks are finally able to drag him down. Good run by the quarterback after drawing the play with the handoff, and he's able to pick up 4. Clock continues to roll, and this one's just about wrapped up. Braves trail by 21, just coming up on the 2-minute marks. 2nd and 6 on the Braves' 29-yard line. Ogle under center, Shippey 5 yards deep as the running back, 2 receivers. Split on either side with Bruckelander, the tight end, on the far. In motion goes Bruckelander. Cuts back, and the give is to Shippey. Has an opening between the guard and tackle, but Donovan Wirt, Cyrus Stonback, and the defensive line are able to make a play after only a gain of about 3. 1:37 left to go in this one, and we've got a man slow to get up on the field for the Braves. That's Dominique Davis, the sophomore defensive tackle out of Laurenburg. Off on his own power. Left leg giving him trouble. Doesn't look to be in too much pain, just, oh, well, goes down after he gets off the field. Hopefully he'll be fine. They bring in Brian McAllister, the sophomore out of Wallace, North Carolina, to replace him. 3rd and 3. 1:20 left to go in this ballgame. Ogle in the gun with Shippey to his left side. Claps, has it, chest high. Fakes the give to Shippey, takes it himself. Met in the backfield, brought down by Tajay Lyles. 5th tackle for loss this year for the junior out of Charlotte. And that'll bring up 4th down. Only a 23-second difference between the game clock and the play clock, so you would assume the Pioneers might take the delay of game here. They've brought out the field goal team. Jose Esperanza could take the delay of game, could take the timeout. It's up to them. They have 1 left. The snapper is Ian O'Grady. The holder is Hunter Cantrell. This will be a 33-yard attempt from the left hash. The snap is back. The ball is down. The kick is up. It's a little off center, and it's wide left. Saves the Braves a little bit as Esperanza is now 1 for 2 on his young season as a field goal kicker, but it'll be a turnover on down for the Braves, and with 32 seconds, or 22 seconds rather, left to go here in this ball game, it's all but wrapped up. Braves will fall to 1-3 on the season. The Pioneers will hit 500 and go 2-2 on the season. This will be one of the roughest seasons in the 10-year history of the Braves. They went 2-8 in 2014. That was their worst season. And that was one of only 3 seasons in which they started 1-4. Or 1-3 rather. Pass to E.J. Williams is complete as he steps out of bounds on a gain of 8.
His 10th catch?
That is, yes. He's only about 5 yards shy of the century plateau, but if they continue to target him, he might hit it. Sampson in the gun. He's got Joe Leake to his right.
He's looking right at you, Joe.
Finds Quay Threat instead. 10 seconds left. Chains will move. They'll stop for that. Braves can move fast. They've still got their timeouts if they elect to use them. Williams is 5 yards shy of that century mark. He's lined up at the slot on the bottom of your screen there. And they're looking deep for him. It's overthrown. 3 seconds left to go in this ball game. It should be the last play incoming from the Braves. They'll hit the road against Newberry, a part of a 3-game road stand against Newberry. Wing it. They'll have a bye week on October 14th, and then they'll face off against Concord on October 21st. They'll be back home on October 28th against Lenore-Rhine for the homecoming game, and looks like the clock expired, and we've reached the end of our day. 31-10, Braves fall. We'll take one short break, and when we come back, we've got postgame right here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath.
He's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously.
And on the UNCP Sports Network, Braves fall today 31-10 to the Tusculum Pioneers. Braves are now 1-3 on the season. Pioneers increase to 2-2 on the year. Tusculum will head home to face off against Lenore Rhine, game one of a 2-game homestand for them. Following that will be against Mars Hill University. But the Braves hit the road, Josh, a 3-game road stand, and I said it during the broadcast. They're winless at Grace Pete Johnson this year, and seeing some unfamiliar territory might be good for them.
Yeah, you know what, it just might. And I feel like the story of the day is, the defense did as well as could expect it, given the offense's inability to capitalize not just off of turnovers, but, penalties, giving you first downs or drives inside the opponent's side of the field. I mean, what can you expect?
Given the amount of time the defense was on the field, nearly 36 minutes the Pioneers' offense was on the field today.
Can't have that. Can't have that at all. I mean, it's not a winning formula for any team.
Wasn't the best of days, but there were signs of improvement. E.J. Williams, 10 receptions, 5 yards shy of the century mark, and a long of 20 yards, while the Braves put together some good work on paper, just like you said, Josh, weren't able to get it done.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and just send it away. Braves fall today 31-10. We'll see you next time right here on the UNCP Sports Network.